Guys, welcome back to the channel. And 1 second, guys. L, what's happening, bud?
Hey, how's it going? Hear me okay?
Yep, you are coming in clear, no echoes, so everything is golden.
There we go.
And we even have a third member of the Hook co-host available for today.
It's a fan back there. Got a fan on. It's interesting how much attention it got. Of course, I didn't notice during Saturday's stream. It wasn't until later when I was watching and reading the comments. Like,
I was looking at the darn fan, but like I had no idea it was that big of a deal until you mentioned it in the comments. I'm like, oh, really?
and that's on low. It's not really. I mean, all I need is low. I just like air movement. It's not even that hot turned up. I mean, it's got I think 2 levels above it.
Nah, it wasn't that big of a deal.
It's funny what
Like you
people
said, it's barely moving. It wasn't a distraction or nothing. I didn't even think it was that big of an issue. Not until you mentioned it. I'm like, okay.
maybe it's just
I
more
went back
noticeable
today. Yeah,
because of the sun. It's sunnier later now, so you can kind of see my room probably a little bit better than usual. I don't know.
yeah. Dude, I had a fun topic because I've been wanting to do these Mount Rushmores, So every day we'll do a new Mount Rushmore, I feel like. And here's the thing. You could always pick a top 4 favorite, list of something.
Something. Yeah.
There's like 100 million ideas you could come up with. Like that's never you're never gonna run out of ideas of a list of anything.
Yeah.
So
Lists are fun though.
I had one idea of a topic of discussion I wanted to make today in particular, and then I had to scrap the idea because I didn't know how to word the title.
Oh, really?
I didn't know how to word the title, and I didn't know how to properly describe what I wanted the topic to be about. And I freaking hate that with a passion. When you know what you want to talk about, but you don't know how to put it into words, so
words
you
or
don't
phrases.
know how to properly describe it. So
Interesting.
yeah, I'm like, I had 86 that idea.
So it wasn't horror suspense producers and directors. I'm really out of my depth here.
No. Well, that's today's topic of discussion, and that's a fun one. I actually learned something by my 4 selections from today's countdown,
Okay.
and I think
You can hear it.
I think you are probably going to have a different selection from what I chose.
Not even sure.
I think the viewers are going to have a much different selection from what I chose. I think the first 2 selections are pretty much universal. But I think the last 2 selections, especially number 4, is really going to surprise a lot of people. But when you start throwing out some of the movies that have come out recently, especially recently, you might see why I've chosen, said person to fill the role.
Okay, I was doing a little reconnaissance just to get my brain going. Okay.
Yeah. So for today's topic of discussion, what is my Mount Rushmore of horror or suspense thrillers that were made by producers or directors? Sometimes guys like, let's say, Wes Craven, he both produced or directed a movie,
I forgot
and he was either a producer or a director, or he was both. So
he counts. Yeah. He's a good
they were either one or the other, or they were both on a film. It doesn't matter as long as they were one. So I think the first one is universal. I think pretty much anyone will always give this answer as number 1. Wes Craven.
That's your number 1? Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty easy because when you look at the sheer volume of Wes Craven,
dude.
I mean, looking at all the other people on my top 4 list, no other member has the volume that Wes Craven has.
It's interesting on this list of I think these are horror directors. Like all of them are old or died when they were old or old now. Like all in the late 70s and early 80s. It's interesting. So working in horror was some kind of longevity cure or something.
Yeah.
Wes Craven alive in 86.
But think about Craven. A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, the Scream franchise. He was part of the 1970s Last House on the Left. He was part of the 1970s. What was the remake of? Damn, the Freaks. The Mutants in the Damn Road. With John Malkovich.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Oh, Malkovich and Craven.
Damn it. The Hills Have Eyes. Son of a bitch. That's what it was.
Okay.
The Hills Have Eyes. I couldn't think of the damn name. I knew it was a remake I saw, but I couldn't remember the original name. All right. The Hills Have Eyes.
So in the original Hills Have Eyes, Malkovich is in it? I don't think I've seen it.
I've seen the remakes in the 2000s, but I don't know if I did see the original, 1977, I think. I don't think I've seen the remake or the original part 2, but I've seen the original or the remakes of 1 and 2. But he was also here, 1990s, The People Under the Stairs.
Oh, he did that one.
That has a lot of childhood nostalgia for me based on where I was, who I saw it with. And so, like, I was in like an LD class when I was in elementary school. So, like, at the end of the year, my LD teacher, a lot of group of kids that were part of, she pulled us all out. We had like this little pizza party at the end of the year. So, she had a little pizza party for us. And, it was pretty awesome that, we all in elementary school, like first grade, we used to go down and watch that movie. So that had to come out like what, 1990 then? 91?
That she showed you People Under the Stairs.
Yeah. And to watch a horror movie, for school teachers to show a bunch of school age, young school age kids, ranging between first grade and eighth grade, a horror movie. When today, if a school teacher were to show you Finding Nemo, it would be too taboo.
Yeah, because a horror movie.
Because they've got the, DTD Dory in that movie, and somebody would complain about, her mental illness or something.
Yep, that's true. Yeah.
Oh man, so I could only imagine, it showed you the different times, 80s and 90s compared to what I could imagine being a student, elementary school, high school today would be like in the 2010s, 2020s.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, I don't even think you can bring in like food anymore and stuff like that. There's allergies, or they're afraid you'll, I don't know, bring in tainted s'mores or something, let alone show a horror movie. And then they all have cell phones. So that would probably be detrimental for their learning. But so Wes Craven's number 1.
I have Wes Craven listed at number 1. So did you want to kind of go back and forth with I list mine, you list yours, or do you want me to go like with my top 4 and then you go with your top 4?
I'm cramming it right now, so I'm thinking maybe you go with your 4. I didn't look ahead at the topic, so I'm kind of now just coming up with people's names. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot, because Wes Craven even, I totally forgot.
Yeah. So I don't have as many movies with my number 2 selection, but the movies that he does have is why he's on this list.
Quality over quantity.
And number 2, I've got Clive Barker.
Oh, okay.
Now, obviously, he's responsible for the Hellraiser franchise. I think he either wrote the books, and he also had everything to do with the original run of the Hellraiser movies. But I think he's also the writer behind the Candyman movies, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Either the short stories of Candyman, and not just Candyman, but like there's a bunch of horror movies that have come out over the years that Clive Barker actually wrote the short stories for that later on people turned into, horror film franchise, which I didn't know that. So like I didn't realize that Candyman was actually part of his product.
Yeah.
So when I think Clive Barker, I think Hellraiser. Like that's his baby. That's his bread and butter right there.
Okay.
But being able to toss in another huge slasher like Candyman, I think that really escalates, his threshold in cinematic history or among horror fans.
And he's got a few others. Nightbreed, Tortured Souls.
1990, I believe.
I don't remember those, but I'm just looking at the list here of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's definitely. It's not like he did Hellraiser and that was it.
No. He's got a bunch. He's got
That's
a bunch
good.
of short stories, horror
Okay.
stories over the years. So, I mean, there's a lot of movies, like I said, that have been made into horror films. So he may not have been part of the actual film creation, but they've made adaptations from his stories. So
Hmm.
it's like someone
Like Stephen King's got some short.
like Goosebumps.
Oh, okay.
Like I can't take R.L. Stein as a legitimate horror based writer.
Okay. But
Stephen King, yes, I
oh
take
yeah.
Stephen King as a serious horror writer. I can't take R.L. Stein. I think of him more as a sort of like a little spoofer. I think of him as like the
Pop horror or pop suspense
like
pop.
like the
Successful.
damn, what the hell? Something is stuck to my freaking ear. Like I think of him as Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, I got you. Wait, what?
So I think of him as like the Weird Al Yankovic of horror. Hey, Lynn, what's happening?
Wouldn't
Glad
let
to
you.
have you. So,
Okay.
like, I love Weird Al, but he does soft,
You
rapping
know,
comedy type stuff.
some of his
Whereas,
songs are musically fun to listen to, but it's more about spoofing other songs, right?
yeah. So Arlo Stein is
Good.
designed. His Goosebumps are designed for small kids to scrape, but it wouldn't do anything for adults or teenagers who are reading like you would watch that like. What is this crap? Like watching the Goosebumps Fox Kids series in the mid '90s. Yeah, I was a fan of the TV show. I mean, I never read the books, didn't care about the books. I was a fan of the series, but there were a lot of episodes I watched and had a great time watching the episode. And then it got to the end. I'm like, man, you just took a great episode and just ruined it with
Oh,
this
really?
ending. There was like a werewolf episode, a two-parter, like Welcome to Camp Blood, or I don't know, something like that. Camp something. It was a werewolf episode,
Okay. Yeah.
and it was perfect. Like probably the best two-part episode of Goosebumps ever. And then they ruined it by making the campers aliens and the werewolf
Oh,
an android. And I'm like, oh man, you just ruined this great episode by making it that stupid. I'm like,
those are some choices. I always feel Stephen King's horror gets that way to me. I want to like Stephen King as much as everyone else does, but then he gets weird about it. Like The Stand. I'm a big fan of like virus type movies and plagues and outbreaks and stuff like that. And he turns it into some weird mystical godlike thing that I'm
yeah,
like, why is this in The Stand? I thought this was a movie about a plague killing society and how the leftovers going to deal with it. And then it's like, oh, Whoopi Goldberg's character can see the future or whatever. And I'm like, what the hell's going on over here? He does that in a lot of his movies. They just get weird. Even Pennywise. I think it'd be better if he was just a guy, a creepy guy who dressed as a clown and killed kids. But then he's like some alien that comes back every 26 years or something weird. I'm kind of like,
27, yeah.
I'm 27. I'm like, I'm kind of out. He does that a lot. And I'm like, I don't know. To me,
Yeah.
I want to like him. One of his good short stories that didn't, it really wasn't, well, it was kind of dystopian more than horror. The Running Man, he actually wrote under a pen name. Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then recently they remade that movie. I don't know if that's a horror movie, but I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Clifford.
So Lynn, stand-up comics. Let's start with that one because so Carlos Mencia used to be like my favorite comedian, but
he got canceled, didn't he, for stealing jokes or something silly?
did he?
Allegedly, I don't know.
I kept seeing that on like South Park or whatever, but like I don't know. Like I love Carlos Mencia, but I haven't seen him in years.
I haven't either.
And I would say
He's
really
retired.
realistically since like 2007-ish, Fluffy Gabriel Iglesias really should be like my favorite comedian. He's the one that my wife and I watch, religiously, whether it's on YouTube or Netflix specials or whatever.
And you quote him.
He's the one that we've basically been watching for like almost 20 years. So
yeah, and you've quoted him several times. That feels like it's probably in your things that are memorable. Why were they memorable? Because you like the jokes or the stories. Sometimes it's stories that are funny. You know how some comedians are more just joke after joke after joke. Probably the good ones do both. I think he does both, right? He'll tell just a standard joke with a setup, and then he'll tell a story with humorous aspects to it. And you just kind of go back and forth between the two.
and I also think like with Carlos Mencia, like I really didn't know comedians by name. I think Carlos Mencia was like one of the first comedians I actually started paying attention to by name, and And of course, he was freaking hilarious. He was like one of the funniest guys out there. So, of course, he was one of the first guys I gravitated to comedian wise. And it's hard to give up. The first person you classified as your favorite.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So even though Fluffy probably is taken over, I still classify Carlos Mencia as number one, even though that he probably lost that title a long time ago.
Huh.
But I'm gonna say Fluffy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Fluffy's number one.
I don't know if Lynn was talking about stand-up comedies. I just kind of asked if movies, TV shows, stories, stand-up comics. We were talking actually horror, but maybe we can get back to that topic unless you wanted to finish it off now. Stand-up comics, I don't know. Probably, I like Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
Eddie Izzard would be my example of Carlos Mencia because one of his stand-ups, Dressed to Kill, is one of the funniest stand-ups I've ever seen. Some of his other stuff's okay, but it's just such a great stand-up in and of itself that Eddie Izzard's probably my Mount Rushmore. Jim Gaffigan, maybe the Scottish Conan guy. What's his name? Craig Ferguson. He's pretty funny. I'm just thinking of people more recently that I've seen. I know I'm leaving a ton of good people out though. Gaffigan's got some really good stuff. I know he tells a lot of food jokes, and he every once in a while he will curse, but it's pretty rare. But so when he does, it's got a little more oomph to it or something. You know what I mean? Instead of someone who curses all the time. I mean, probably if you go into the past, I'm probably leaving out like your George Carlins and stuff like that because they're gone now and they don't do any stand-ups anymore. Carlin deserves to be up there somewhere. Probably your Eddie Murphy's pretty good. I don't know if he's top 4 for me or Richard Pryor. Also, I think Richard was a little before my time. A lot of movies, a lot of comedic movies he's in.
I liked. Yeah. Stand-up comedians nowadays. I mean, I really don't have that many. I mean, like if we were doing like a top 4 comedians, like it would be an easy selection for me because I have a short list. I mean, that would probably be another live stream topic. Your Mount Rushmore of comedians.
We should.
I mean, Mencia would be on that list. Fluffy would be on that list. Joe Coy maybe would probably be on that list.
I'd have to do more research because I know I'm leaving some people out. Like George Carlin, I almost totally forgot. He's probably up there somewhere. Is he top 4 anymore? Yeah, maybe. He's very important. He's funny. Just
so
he's gone.
I probably wouldn't choose actors, like Jerry Seinfeld. I get it; he's a stand-up comedian. I think Bill Cosby was like a stand-up comedian as well. But I look at those guys more as actors, right? So I know them more as from acting roles.
I mean, Seinfeld though definitely was. I mean, he crafted. I don't like his jokes as much as everyone else, and I didn't like his shows as much as everyone else. But he's clearly a professional stand-up comedian. If that holds any weight. Doesn't mean I have to like his jokes. He's not in my top 4, but I wouldn't begrudge anyone for putting him in their top 4.
Yeah. But let's say guys like an Adam Sandler, or a Chris Farley, right? You can think they're absolutely
stand-up
and SNL, because they have that, so they are comedians, right? Probably. But when I look at them, I look at
sketch comics more than stand-up comics. They'd be there along with like Bob Odenkirk and David Cross. I love Mr. Show with Bob and David. I think they both do stand-up, but I don't like David Cross's stand-up as well as his sketch comedy with Bob Odenkirk. That'd be a good example to me that like I'll listen to them talk and they're funny, but I would rather watch them do sketches, on SNL or whatever. Same with Chris Farley. I know Adam Sandler I think has done some stand-up, but he's more of a comedic actor even than
so you would classify a Kevin Hart and a Will Ferrell differently.
Yeah, Kevin Hart does both. He does do stand-up. Will Ferrell doesn't really ever do stand-up. He does funny stuff, though. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Will Ferrell do a stand-up comedy, but he does sketch comedy, as good as anyone.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying, though. I've never heard of Dice myself, Tony.
I think he means Andrew Dice Clay. Is that what you're talking about? Probably. Hickory Dickory Dock and all that. And he'd smoke funny and he'd do wearing the leather jacket. I think that's who Tony means, probably. Maybe. Am I right? Been a while. I'm also trying to think of back in that day. He's also gone. I think Andrew Dice Clay's still around, but he was the son of a preacher, and he was Sam Kinison. But I think he was turning his life around and then got in a car accident and died. He would yell at you, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Once again, funny, maybe not top 4. Yeah, Andrew really exploded. He definitely his style of humor really took off, but I think he burned burned hot and quick. He didn't have the lasting career of some of the other people. Rodney Dangerfield, yeah. See, that's why I need to do research. I mean, Rodney also did comedic. Well, Rodney's definitely more of a stand-up comic, just because I first saw him doing movies like Caddyshack and stuff.
Ladybug.
He wasn't an actor, right? he would do comedic bits. But calling him a comedic actor is a really a stretch, right? But he's a funny stand-up comic. Get no respect, all that stuff. And then you talk about all the other people that do roast and stuff. We're leaving out a whole bunch of older folks, but probably back though. You want to finish off your horror stuff? You got Wes Craven, Clive Barker.
I got Craven, Barker, number 3, and I think this is where I'm going to fall off the list with everyone. The last 2 picks.
Surprise.
Number 3, I've got, because I think he is a cinematic genius, I got Rob Zombie at number 3.
Oh, really?
Here's the thing.
Any of his movies.
Rob Zombie
more than his movies.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Maybe I need to watch
Most people they take these existing franchises and they reboot them and they completely screw them up.
Yeah.
I didn't want Rob Zombie to remake Halloween, or Paramount or whoever was going to make remakes. I wanted them to continue the Halloween franchise.
Did he remake?
I don't want them.
He made a Halloween movie. Rob Zombie did a Halloween movie.
2007, 2009.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So I didn't want them to remake it. I want them to continue on the story
and do their own.
So I think you had. I think part 7 was H2O. I think that was I'm sorry. Resurrection. Resurrection was part 8. That was the last one. And then 2007, Halloween was the Rob Zombie Halloween came out, and it was a brand new take, and brilliant.
Really?
Freaking brilliant. Wow. It was their own unique spin on the story. They still stay true to the original storyline for the most part, but they made it different enough to where you still had that same feel, that same flavor of the original Michael Myers, but you also upgraded it enough to make it your own unique movie. And they came back with a part 2, and it wasn't like, the part 2 from the 1979, 1980 original with the hospital scene and all that.
He did 2 Halloweens.
Yeah, he did 2 of them. Nice. He should have kept going because he could have made it. He could have made that franchise. He could have made 10, 12 movies and been highly successful. I think he should have made at least 3.
That's my problem. I just never really got in the Halloween franchise, so I totally was oblivious.
Yeah. But
he stopped at 2.
2 amazing Halloween movies. House of 1,000 Corpses, which was awesome, and The Devil's Rejects. I just found out he just made a movie in 2019 called 3 from Hell, which I've never seen, but I mean,
haven't heard that
it's a Rob Zombie movie, so it's got to be freaking awesome.
Devil's Rejects and House of 1,000 Corpses are the only 2 I know of. Okay. Yeah. Especially you're saying, Halloween's an important franchise, so he really could have screwed that up. But you're saying he made 2 great Halloween movies. Probably could live just on that, let alone the other movies.
So not only has he produced, 4 absolutely amazing horror movies for horror fans, but brilliant. I mean, not many people could go out there and say, hey, I've made this amount of movies and, I made 20 movies and 16 of them were a success. I made 50 movies and 22 of them were a success. Or I made 50 movies and 38 of them were highly coveted or something of that effect. Well, whether he made 4 movies or 40 movies, the fact that he could sit back and say, hey, 100% of my movies were awesome, that's enough. Like, that's incredible.
And I don't know what his background is other than I remember hearing him as a musician first. So it's kind of interesting to see him pivot away from, admittedly, a lot of his music is very horror kind of themed, but you wouldn't think any old musician can't just all of a sudden become a producer director of movies.
Absolutely.
That's very interesting.
Plus, he always casts his wife in the movies, and she always does a fantastic acting role in the movies. But
that's all that matters. It's just not nepotism if she does a good job, right?
But at the same time, a lot of this, especially the sex scenes and stuff. I'm like, shit, man, you're a better man than me. Man. I wouldn't want my wife in those, nude scenes and all that. But I'm like, they make it happen. They do a great job. They do really awesome jobs making those films.
I think if you do it right, if it makes sense for the film. I know so many times films get lazy. I knew because I grew up with them before the internet. The softcore porn essentially on late night HBO, whatever. And you're kind of like, why was there a topless lady here? I wasn't complaining as a hormone fueled teenager, but it makes no sense. So if it makes sense in the movie, even if it is his wife, great. But you know how it is. Sometimes you're just kind of like, why is this in this movie? As I get older, I'm like, I feel bad for the actor or actress. Now, admittedly, sometimes I think they do use stunts. I don't know, they stunt bodies. Do they call them stunts when they come in just to show their butt or whatever? You know what I mean?
Stunt
So
doubles, yeah.
I think they're called the same. It's not quite the same risk, but I guess if I had a body like that, I'd show it off, but maybe not. Somebody want to look at my nude body on TV? I'd be like, yeah, okay, let's go. That's a good one then, Rob Zombie. Okay.
Now, here's one I don't think anybody is thinking about putting on their list anytime soon.
Yeah,
But someone I think people should really start taking recognition in.
Jim Carrey? No, I'm kidding. Does he do movies? That'd be fun.
Not necessarily horror,
Yep.
but strong in the suspense thriller.
Okay. Which is open. Yep.
And I consider suspense thriller in the same neighborhood of horror. So,
yeah,
they're right there side by side holding hands.
It's very similar. Yeah, there's probably an academic discussion there, but not in my book. I mean, whatever. Right?
So I put number 4 on
Jaws isn't a horror movie, but it's suspenseful and thrillerish.
I put Jaws in the
something like that.
under horror. So
yeah, but
suspense horror. So I'm gonna put Jordan Peele on my list of top 4.
I was wondering if you're gonna go with that. He hasn't. So really, none of his movies. I haven't watched enough of him. It's so funny. He's another one that's pivoted. Because you could put him on your list of sketch comics.
And one of the funniest guys ever, period.
So him going from sketch comedy to horror, suspense, thriller movies, you're kind of like, that doesn't really, that's an even bigger diversion. Like at least Rob, his music is very horror themed in a lot of cases, right? So I'm not totally surprised when he came out and said, I want to do horror movies. I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? It's not like he was singing, bluegrass songs or something or country music, right? But Jordan Peele, when I said I don't know what his first movie was, but I'm like, is that the same Jordan Peele that I know from like Mad TV and Key and Peele and all that stuff? Like, yep, same guy. I'm like, really? Because I think he's almost exclusively done horror, suspense, thriller type movies, right? He hasn't done a lot of like comedies or here's an animated movie, here's a history piece. His has mostly been horror, suspense, thriller. I think maybe all of them.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
My wife and I, we just finished. Actually, no, I lied. We got like 10 minutes left before I had to come up here for the live stream. But
you lied to us. God damn.
We were watching Get Out, and
okay,
27.
I'll leave. No, fine, I'll leave.
a 2017 movie, and we've seen it before, but my memory sucks. So anytime I see something, I'm not gonna remember it.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
I'm gonna know that I've seen it, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you think about it, 2017 Get Out, 2019, was it called All of Us? No,
Get Out.
It was just called Us.
Get Out has a twist, doesn't it? Or is it Us? Or did they both?
Both. Well, they both had twists.
Yeah. Don't tell me what they are. I just know enough that they have twists, and I want to see them. And then yet I still haven't seen them like years later.
Yeah, they're all gonna have twists. There's a 2022 movie called Nope. I know I've seen that. I think that one
did that one too. Okay, yeah.
So, right? He's starting to build himself a nice freaking resume for movies already. So all he has to do is throw on another few bangers, and he solidified himself right up there with Craven and Barker in my eyes.
I like it. It's a neat story because, like I say, he's a total divergent. Like he's doing comedy sketch stuff, and so then he's like, "Now I want to do producing direct horror movies." You're like, "Okay, whatever." And then you're honestly like, "Oh, he's probably no good at it," but apparently he is good at it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people
he's got to do what he wants, maybe.
And I think a lot of people that are going to choose, hey, who's on my list of, the greatest 4 directors / producers of all time, horror based. They're probably looking at Faces of Death, right? And Holocaust Cannibal, movies like that. Like who produced that? Who directed those movies? Because those are the absolute sickos that deserve to be on this type of list, because those are the type of movies that are gonna get you oh, that's disgusting, or oh, they're gonna get you thinking. They're gonna get you thinking. They're gonna get you talking. They're having you talking about it years later. Decades later, I'm still thinking about that freaking dog that I saw cut up right in front. And I find out later as an adult that they weren't cutting up any damn dog; it was a freaking stuffed animal.
Well,
But I'm
yeah, I
like,
hope so. Rob Zombie's on this list. I just didn't scroll far enough. You mentioned Rob, and then Jordan Peele's right after him. See, I'm doing research because now you're saying I'm going to be up, right?
what favorite directors and stuff?
Of a horror and other, yeah. Uh huh. So I'm
Somebody
trying.
took my somebody's already taken my idea.
Well, this is from Ranger. They have yeah, but they have Rob at 38th and Peele at 40. So there's a lot of people in front of him. So I don't think they didn't steal your thunder. You know.
This
Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe he is in my top. Oh, okay. I'm glad I
Who's
looked it
that?
up.
Who they put at number one?
I don't know about number one, but it's such a wacky movie. I don't know if I really enjoy it. But he also did Poltergeist, so this is a theme from Saturday. I'm not even sure how to pronounce his name. Is it Toby Hooper? Tobe
Oh,
Hooper?
yeah.
Or is it Tobe? I assume Toby. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He did do Poltergeist, and I don't know if you've all seen it. It's a weird British movie called Life Force. I think it was British, like space vampires.
Yeah.
The reason I
Yeah.
remember
1985.
the reason why I remember it is because I was too young when I saw it. And there's like minutes of this lady like full nude walking around killing stuff. So
That's why I remember it so much.
As a young impressionable guy, I'm like, what the hell is this movie? I don't know if he's number one, but Poltergeist helps. And in that same vein, probably Ridley Scott because Aliens, right? It feels like we're missing some people. I'm not a big Hitchcock fan, but I could see him being there because of all the stuff he's done. I don't know if he's in my list. Maybe. Do you think John Carpenter? I don't like John Carpenter as much. See, that's the problem. I don't like Carpenter or Hitchcock as much as the rest of the people, but I feel bad not mentioning them. Maybe Sam Raimi, even though I don't like his other movies. I really loved Army of Darkness. Is that enough?
Sam Raimi would have been a good selection. John Carpenter, I think, he's another one of those names that should be right there alongside Wes Craven and Clive Barker. Like, I think when you think top four of all time, he's literally should be on the top four, right? Those three names, Barker, Craven, and John Carpenter should always be guaranteed top three slots. But
I'll go with Hooper.
I didn't want.
Ridley Scott also did Blade Runner, so that might. I don't know if that's suspenseful, but there's some.
So I just had to have those last two slots filled for somebody different.
I'm still looking M. Night Shyamalan. It feels like Jordan Peele's the new M. Night Shyamalan, maybe better, with the twist, right? That was always the joke with M. Night Shyamalan. Let's wait for the twist. I mean, admittedly, I don't know what you call Sixth Sense. That was pretty good. I think Unbreakable wasn't bad. I don't know about that trilogy. It became a trilogy, right? With Unbreakable and was it Fragile?
Yeah, and Glass.
I never finished it off though, so I think I admittedly lost my interest in him. Bloodmore. I don't think I need to go. Oh, Eli Roth. He's got some stuff. John Krasinski.
Well, Eli Roth has Hostel, so I mean, damn, that's a good one right there.
John Krasinski. That's another guy. If I'm thinking, is he the Office guy?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he did Quiet Place and Quiet Place 2. I know he acted in them, but he's not in my list. But it's kind of interesting. I don't think I'll surprise anyone. I probably would have to go with. We talked about on Saturday. I kept repeating myself. Another reason not to go blind drunk into a live stream. I just kept saying over and over again, aliens. I don't know how many times I had to say aliens on Saturday. It's funny because I was rewatching a few this afternoon. But so Ridley Scott, Tobe Hooper, maybe Hitchcock. Who else do we think? Carpenter, James Wan, Saw. But I don't. Conjuring and Insidious aren't on mine. But Saw's. I'm trying to follow up with the movies that I liked. I don't know if I have enough. Guillermo del Toro we didn't mention, but I don't know if I'm not a big fan of his. Stanley Kubrick we mentioned because I talked about if like a Space Odyssey and Howland stuff was scary enough. The Shining he did. Clockwork Orange. Maybe I'll put Stanley Kubrick in there. He feels like maybe he's a little overrated, but I feel like one of the Giants should be in there, even if they are overrated. Which means no Hitchcock. I think that's too much overratedness. So I need a fourth, don't I? Maybe Sam Raimi. Army of Darkness is super quotable, and he's done a bunch of other stuff that people like. So I'll go with Sam Raimi, maybe.
There you go.
But if you gave me time to think about it, I'd probably this is not my strong suit. I was surprised. So I learned today that Tobe Hooper did Poltergeist. I had no idea. I just knew that Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I wouldn't say it's the best movie, but it's just wacky as hell. Like the first one, I didn't realize how wacky it was. When I finally saw it, like in mid-70s, like what the hell's going on? This is maybe too wacky for me. I feel like I think House of a Thousand Corpses and or Devil's Rejects are that way too, aren't they? They're pretty wacky, aren't they?
Yeah.
I remember that was a big plot point in talking about comedies, Big Bang Theory. Have you seen any of the Big Bang Theories?
All of them.
So you know when
Oh,
Raj,
you talk about the series, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
the theory that the universe, no, I'm just kidding. So you remember when Raj was dating one of his redheads, who I also had a crush on? I forget what was her name, but she was into maybe Emily. I think he dated like two redhead Emilys. It's kind of weird. But the one that was into horror and cemeteries and stuff like that, do you remember her?
I don't think so, but
The only reason I really, really, really remember her is she was also on Bones for a minute too. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if she's going to be a regular on either of these shows. And then she ended up being off both of them. But she was into horror movies, and I think they had to watch one or both of those movies. And he watched it with Howard, and they were describing how terrible it was. And I haven't seen those movies, so I was kind of like, oh, okay. That feels like maybe what Texas Chainsaw Massacre was 20, 30 years earlier. I don't know if
nice.
I feel good about my list. Toby Hooper and Ridley Scott are kind of cool. Who did I decide to go with? Stanley Kubrick. Trying to be
Nice.
Tim Burton. We didn't talk about Tim Burton. I don't know if he should be up there.
No. I mean, Tim Burton's okay with some of his movies, but the man just recast the exact same actors over and over again. You might as well just put Adam Sandler in that list then. Who just does nothing but cast his friends over and over again in all of his movies.
Yeah, what's his face? The Pirates of the Caribbean. What's his name? I can see his face here.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I need the role of a 100-year-old bodybuilder. Oh, let's cast Johnny Depp. Okay. Like just shoehorn into everything. I mean, admittedly, some of the movies are pretty good. I don't know. Has he done Sleepy Hollow, Sweeney Todd, Dark Shadows? I thought Dark Shadows isn't really
Edward Scissorhands is like the most popular.
Okay, yeah. Are they horror though? Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about like
Sleepy Hollow is. Sleepy Hollow is maybe Sweeney Todd, but when they're singing, it takes the edge off. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, he's killing people or whatever he's doing, but he's singing about it, so I'm not really that scared. You know what I mean?
What was that vampire one again?
Dark Shadows. Also more comedic to me than scary, right? It wasn't like Ghostbusters. Ostensibly is about ghosts and you could be scared, but it's more of a comedy. Yeah, I saw that. That's true. There's a lot of horror theme around Mars we could go into, but at least he should be an honorable mention because he's famous enough. Probably Alfred Hitchcock should be above him, but okay.
And I noticed Lynn's comment here about Bill Murray too, and I'm like, yeah.
Did Bill has Bill done any? Oh, as far as comedic actors, yeah, and a Cub fan, lifelong Cub fan. I really got a kick out of watching him in the Cubs World Playoffs and stuff, right? And he definitely, of course, he has the money too. He definitely was there at Game 6 and Game 7. I remember him in the audience celebrating with other Cub fans. So, and
I mean, there's a lot of
Caddyshack's on my list of comedy movies. I think didn't we do a
comedy movies?
Didn't we do like a top? Why is Caddyshack in my list for some reason? Do you remember I mentioned Caddyshack before? Did we do a Mount Rushmore?
Favorite 80 movies or something like that, or best movies of the 80s.
We did an 80s and 90s thing, I think.
Or most nostalgic movies of the 80s or something like that.
And that's why I think our next Mount Rushmores could be about comedy if you want to do that. I think I tend to more comedic movies in general. I try to be funny. You have to settle for funny looking, but sometimes I'm funny. Okay.
And that's the thing. If I were to think of like, let's say 80s comedy movies.
Or sci-fi. I like sci-fi too.
Or hell, even if we did away with 80s comedy and just said, open it up, hey, what's your favorite comedy? What's your top 4 favorite comedy movies in general?
And then you put me on the spot. Just for
and okay, or what do you think? Or I couldn't pick up an answer. Like, I mean, what could you possibly put on that list? I'd have to answer like questions like, what is a movie I could watch today
over and over again,
and then come back and watch tomorrow? Like, what is something that's what I view as easy watching?
Could we just say a good movie? Bill Murray movies, limit it a bit, maybe.
Like
I could rewatch Caddyshack, and I could rewatch Groundhog Day. Actually, surprisingly, it would be in my top 4 probably because I rewatched that like when Groundhog Day comes around. I'm celebrating. I'm watching Groundhog Day a couple times today. Right, I love that movie. Groundhog Day is hilarious.
Oh, you know what? I might have a few answers to that question, though.
Ooh. Yeah, but you're right. It's the stuff you watch over and over again. I don't want to watch tonight. You sit down with your wife, your husband, whoever, your dog, your cat. I don't want to watch anything new. What are you going to turn on that you've already seen? That's comedic. Dumb and Dumber.
Something that you've seen already, but you could put on again because you enjoyed it, but you don't want to really pay much attention to it.
Or you will
So,
occasionally. You're like, I'm not going to pay attention. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to listen to whatever. I'm going to watch a
you know,
podcast. But
if
then
you're
you
going to be
start
on your
watching
phone or
it.
something, like it's background fodder, it's background noise. You still want to watch it, but like if you're
And it's
not,
still
if it
hooky though.
doesn't have 100% of your attention, that's okay because you still know what happens. You've already seen it.
Yeah, and it's
So,
enjoyable.
like if I'm watching
Excuse me.
Major Pain,
That is
it's
hilarious.
hilarious. I've seen it plenty of times. I know what happens. I can quote it, several times over. Um, if I watch it today, guess what? I can come back and watch it tomorrow. I look at it
Right.
as easy viewing,
I always
and
give
it
my
might be
nephew
one of the
crap for that.
and
That's one of his
it might be
favorite
one of the
movies.
best comedies.
That's one of his favorite movies is Major Pain. I'm always giving him crap for it. It's more about teasing now. So Judgment Day, I know of the Terminator 2. Is there another? Is this a comedy?
1998 Judgment Day. Well, no,
19,
Judgment Day was that 98 or was that 94? Will
I
Smith
think.
Judgment Day.
Oh, is that a Will Smith movie? Is this comedy? I think you're thinking horror. Two unwitting travelers who stumble into a secluded Mexican village, cursed to host the devil for one day each year to claim souls. This must be on the horror film list, Kelvin. Is that what you're going with? This sounds like a horror movie. I haven't seen it. It might be down your alley though. Look it up. Judgment Day, 1988 horror film. I
All
don't think
right,
I've heard of it.
here's
Kelvin's
my.
always got. You and Kelvin have the deep cuts. You guys know where the stuff. Yeah.
I gotta start writing this
This
stuff
one.
down because I always forget.
Judgment Day, 2 words, 1988, also known as The Third Hand. Is anybody famous in this one? Yeah, because as soon as you said Judgment Day, I'm like, oh, Terminator 2. Yeah, I know that. But that's not really, I mean, it's got comedic moments. Oh, Cesar Romero. Is that who I think it is? Cesar Romero? Early life, career, Springtime Anarchies, Wee Willie Winky. Cesar Romero. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, the Joker. Yep. Cesar Romero was the Joker on the Batman TV show, right? With Adam West. Oh, registered Republican. He appeared in the Nixon Lodge bumper sticker motorcade campaign. Interesting. You learn all kinds of stuff. I was thinking of something else, but yeah. So look that up. Judgment Day. Surprisingly, I'm not a big fan of like slapstick comedy. Like the Three Stooges do nothing for me. Maybe even like who are some of the other famous? There's a few. Abbott and Costello. Do they do a little slapstick? But that's why it's surprising that Dumb and Dumber is always on my list because there's a lot of slapstick in Dumb and Dumber, but I love that movie. I really enjoy it. It's one of those outliers for me. I'm not saying I have to be all cerebral about my comedy. I just never got into the Three Stooges to me and never does anything for me. Plenty of people love them, just like
Thanks,
Seinfeld. Enjoy your Three Stooges. It never does.
Nah, man, I've never been a fan of
Right.
Stooges
Super.
myself, the Three Stooges.
I've just never been to that type of humor. But clearly they're a very an important piece of, cinema comedy. A lot of people like it. Sure, enjoy it. I'm thinking even Bill Murray wise though, Caddyshack and Groundhog Day might be in my top 4. But then I start thinking about Airplane. Is that up there? Dumb and Dumber is pretty good. Trying to run the gamut. Like I don't want all old 80s and 90s movies. Are there any recent movies that should be in there that I'm missing out? I don't know. What's the last really great new comedy to me that I saw?
There is a movie my wife and I just watched yesterday, and we've seen it before. It was a Jonah Hill movie, and Jonah Hill and who else was in it? I forget the girl's name, but it also featured, I believe, Nia Long and Eddie Murphy.
Really?
But we've seen this movie before.
Hey, there's a good one. Oh, Scared That's cool. Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. I have to look that one up.
But the movie was called
Showgirls.
Hey, I love Showgirls.
I'm with Showgirls though. I usually throw that on in the background. I'm like,
greatest movie ever.
Yeah, I would say that's a background noise. Showgirls. Ted? Okay, Cheeseburger likes Ted. Do you watch the TV show then, Ted? Cheeseburger? I haven't watched the TV show, but
I freaking knew there was a damn Ted TV series. I told my wife there was a Ted TV series. She said there wasn't.
Yeah, because it's got the one guy from he cooks meth. What's his name?
He cooks meth.
The chemistry teacher. You know what I mean?
Scott White or Walter White.
Yeah. Breaking Bad. His son is in Ted.
Oh.
The guy who plays
the crippled kid, gotcha.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's really crippled in real life or if he got better. I thought he was crippled when I looked him up back in the Breaking Bad days, but I don't think he's got Unless I'm thinking of the wrong guy, but I think he's also in Ted. I could be wrong. But there is. I think they've had a second season or third season. It's on Peacock, I believe. Stylized as Ted. I wasn't this big fan of the movie. I think Mac. No, okay, I'm getting it confused. This guy was in Parenthood. Is that what that was called? I got it confused. But it's funny because in Parenthood he played like somebody on the spectrum. Is that the TV show Parenthood? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Parenthood. Max Braverman. I don't know if he was autistic, but yeah, so I got it. But he was on the spectrum. I don't know if they ever
Bryan
he was
Cranston,
autistic, but Bryan Cranston, yeah. But I didn't like Ted the TV or the movie enough to watch the TV show yet, so I don't know if it's any good. But if you like the movie, I'd be interested to see. Okay, so Cheeseburger sounds like also likes the TV show.
Look,
I'm
going to put it out
the movie
there.
could be great, but the TV show could suck. I assume Seth MacFarlane's still doing the voice of the teddy bear. I assume.
Yeah. Have you not seen any of the Ted movies?
No, I've seen both of them. I remember the first one more than the second.
Well, I'm going to say this much.
There was two, right?
When a stuffed animal beats the living crap out of you in a hotel room, pulls down your pants, and beats your ass with a switch. I mean, that's enough said right there.
Marky Mark was in both of them, right? Mark Wahlberg, wasn't he in both?
Yeah.
I remember that right? Yeah.
That hotel scene was that made the whole entire movie. I don't care if that could have been the worst movie ever created. That hotel scene made everything worth it.
Does that count as slapstick then? I guess it is, but it's more impressive because it's a teddy bear doing it.
I broke my dick on the TV. I'm like, how do you not freaking bust out crying your eyes out, laughing your ass off at something like that? Oh man, I almost freaking died every time I hear that. I almost freaking die. I break a vein vessel in my head, my eyes, everything just explodes every time I see that. Oh man.
You have to remember, is it fast or slow? What's the mnemonic for if you're having a stroke? I forget what. Is it fast?
I have no idea.
There's like a 5, but when you break your blood vessel in the brain, you want to make sure you do
Quote of the stream.
Dripping side. Was he?
Oh man.
Wow. Kelvin with the deep cuts. Kelvin needs to get into wrestling figures because I assume he or she would come out with some deep cut wrestling figures too. Or maybe figures. So I've made I always said there's so many action figures that I want to limit if you just limit yourself to wrestling figures, you still be buying every day if you wanted to. So I'm like, mostly wrestling figures, but one of the divergences I've made, one was some of the Jay and Silent Bob really was Buddy Christ. But Army of Darkness, which is maybe why Sam Raimi should be on there. I don't know where I was going with that. Maybe that's kind of comedic, right? Army of Darkness. I don't know, horror comedy.
It's both. I think all of
this is my boomstick.
Or Evil Dead Rises. Basically any of the Evil Dead movies. They're all kind of the same thing.
I feel like any of the quotable ones I'm really going to come up.
It is deep horror, but it's also comedic and so. But I mean, it's more horror than comedy, so I give it credit for that.
Ghostbusters.
Now we look at something like Scary Movie.
Oh yeah.
Like Scary Movie, I look at it as comedy more than horror.
Yeah, and it's a spoof. It's a Weird Al horror movie, right? They're spoofing horror movies and being funny about it, right? Was it 2 or 3 where it had Chris Elliott? Take my strong hand or whatever he says, right? He breaks I cannot remember that. David Cross was in one of them. He played the wheelchair-bound guy.
Same movie.
Was it the same one? There you go. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's funny how it all comes back to you. Yeah, those would be more comedies than horror. I mean, ostensibly, there's some horror happening. Well, so Ghostbusters. That's probably more of a comedy. I don't know. I mean, were you ever really scared? Maybe if I think
I don't look at Ghostbusters as a horror movie.
Maybe the opening scene with the ghost in the library, if I was young enough and saw it, but certainly it's not Poltergeist levels or whatever of scariness, right? After that, I mean, even when he thinks of what did you do, Ray, or whatever, when he thinks of Marshmallow Man at the end of the movie, you're kind of
when I look at Ghostbusters, I consider that to be an action movie. Okay. I don't classify that as horror, comedy. I just say action. I say it's an action movie.
Yeah, it's got comedic elements, but it's not funny enough consistently to be a comedy, right? But you get thrown off because of the people in it. You know, you could see Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray, and even what's his face. He ended up doing a lot of directing. He directed Groundhog Day, in fact, before he passed away. Played Egon Spengler. What was his name?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I knew exactly who you were going to. I just can't. I can never remember his darn name though.
You think of them all as comedic actors, but the whole movie itself, I don't know if it was funny enough consistently, and it wasn't supposed to be. So you're probably right. It's more of an action with comedic and horror-ish,
Kicked in girls. That's just one thing right there, Kelvin. Man, I could never and will never
Harold
get
Ramis.
into
Tony got it. Harold Ramis.
that movie and those toys. Oh
I
God.
think Harold Ramis actually directed Caddyshack too.
I'm sorry, guys, but I will not ever be a fan of that movie franchise.
Star Wars.
It will never do anything for me.
I mean, I would say growing up, I loved Star Wars, but I think it's just because I saw it, like with Poltergeist, at the right age. Because the more I watch of the other movies, the less impressed I am with the franchise. And even when I rewatch some of the originals, Star Wars: New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, even when I rewatch them, I'm kind of like, yeah, he doesn't really know what he's doing yet. Of course, these were his first, maybe second or third movies he was doing. But the other 6 movies are kind of meh. And then I know there's a lot of TV shows now, but I'm not really into any of them. I guess I should be. Like, isn't there a new movie coming out, The Mandalorian and Grogu or something like that? I'm like, yeah, I guess I should be into it. I'm just not really like I should be. I don't know. I want to like it because I like sci-fi. So Star Trek has the problem of sometimes it's a little, maybe too much sci-fi, not enough human element. And then Star Wars is not enough sci-fi, too much, I don't know, too much repetition. And they made so many egregious errors in the other 6 movies that I kind of like. It diminishes the original 3. If I wouldn't have watched the original 3 when I was so young and impressionable, I probably would have the same opinion if I was honest with myself, right? But I can't go back. Even the teddy bears were kind of crappy in Return of the Jedi, but like somebody said, it's kind of
teddy bears.
They were right. They Ewoks were teddy bears, and I think it was a money grab on Lucas's part. But like somebody said, to think about the good guys using teddy bears to defeat the Empire. Well, that's kind of like a come from behind story. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. My problem with the whole Star Wars franchise is you never really get to see Luke Skywalker kick ass like he should. He is never given the payoff of being the hey, this guy is the Force and he's stronger than all these motherfuckers. They never let him. You kind of get a sense of that in Return of the Jedi, but then like who ends up finishing off the Empire? His father, Darth Vader, when he throws the Emperor over the down the elevator shaft. He doesn't really do it. So you're kind of like, when does he ever kick ass? And then you jump forward in 7, 8, 9 when he's an old man and he doesn't want to teach anyone the Force anymore. And I'm like, when do I ever get to see him in his prime, kicking butt? You never do. And I don't like it.
Well, I will give them credit for one thing. At least they continue on the storytelling and they don't remake the franchise, reboot it.
7, 8, 9 to me feels like 4, 5, and 6 again. There are elements that you kind of like, why does this sound familiar? What do they say? Like, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. I feel like 7, 8, 9 very much rhymed with 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3 didn't. Those were different because they said Darth Vader. But 7, 8, 9, they're largely forgettable in my head. I probably should watch them again, but I don't know if I have the stomach to watch them again. I wanted to like them because they got the lady as the Force carrier instead of a dude. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat, Rey or whatever her name was. But then somehow the Emperor returned, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, that's it.
If I ever watch these movies, I'd have to watch them in order 1, 2, 3, not 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And
the best way to do them is you watch 4 and 5. That's it. You watch 5, you're like, wow, the Empire really won. Well, I guess I'm done watching Star Wars because the Empire wins in 5, right? And I think for a lot of us, 5 for some reason becomes the favorite movie, and I don't know if that's partly because we're contrarians because the Empire does strike back literally. And I mean, Kelvin, you're kind of right. He saves his soul, I guess, but it's as a young kid and even now as an adult, I want to see Luke kick ass. You just don't never see it. It's just missing. Though I will admit, I don't remember which of the 7, 8, 9 movies it was when he does the Force projection to pretend he's there so that they can escape. That I forget where they were. They're on some planet somewhere, and Kylo Ren, Han Solo's son, is like determined to kill him, and he thinks he's destroying Luke, and Luke just like because he's Force projecting from his island or whatever. That was pretty cool, but not enough. They needed more of that, and then I think he dies. And they're like, "Oh, okay, bye, Luke."
This Star Wars conversation though, it did
Yep.
get me a new topic of discussion though. TV shows that
Ooh,
actually we may have talked about this before, but
Star Wars
I don't think it was ever
especially.
a main topic of discussion. TV shows that were cut before their time,
Oh, that's a good one.
and
Sarah
because
Connor Chronicles.
you've been exactly you've been mentioning you want to see Luke, show his badassery.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel the same thing about John Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
Season one, he looked like a real freaking pussy that whole first season. Sarah Connor was completely babying him the whole time. And you
Uh,
didn't see him become a badass John Connor until season two. And it was probably like maybe more mid season two when he really started becoming the guy that's gonna become, the world's savior essentially.
he's gonna be done.
So
And that was the
I
last
mean,
season, wasn't it? Then it was only 2 seasons, I think.
yeah, they canceled out this. They left at a damn cliffhanger. The bastards.
They had a great cast. Because the Terminator was the lady from Firefly, right? Summer Glau, and then Sarah was. She's been in a bunch of stuff, but Game of Thrones comes to mind. What's her name?
Lena
British.
Headley.
Yeah, I think she's British, but born in the Bermuda Islands or something weird like that. So they had a great cast. Yeah, there's a lot of those. Well, I guess Firefly would be up there. I didn't like Firefly as much as the next people, but I've rewatched it a few times, and every time I'm kind of like, I guess the movie finishes it. So, which movie was it in the Terminator series, though? Because you talk about John Connor's the one, and you got to save him. And in one of the more recent ones, they killed him off. I'm like, yeah, that's okay.
Hold on, wait. They killed. Wait, who
Yeah.
killed John Connor now?
In one of the later Terminators, it's just like, oh, that's okay. He's dead. No big deal. You're like,
I think the last Terminator movie
how
that I
many
can
movies did we
actually
spend
recall
saving this guy?
watching
And then you're just
was
like, nah,
probably
dead now.
Salvation, and what was that? Salvation Part 4.
Yeah. They all blend together. I don't even know anymore. Terminator.
So, and I think when I watched Salvation, that was like probably 2010.
I think Terminator 12, Terminators in Space. Was that the one? Am I thinking? Or that's
So
Terminator
I haven't
versus
seen.
Predator?
I haven't watched Terminator in forever.
It all blends together. I don't know.
Yeah.
Genesis. Was it Genesis they killed him off? Yeah, and you're kind of like, man, one thing you need to do is save this guy. How many movies, how much time do we spend on saving John Connor? And then Genesis comes along, yeah, the hell with it. We're going to be wacky and kill him off. Kind of like Aliens 3 in a way. We talked about that a little bit on Saturday, but I rewatched it a bit today. Where at the beginning they kill off Newton, Michael Biehn, and the android. And basically kill off Sigourney Weaver's character too. It was definitely a different director who did Alien 3 than the rest of them. But yeah, that was a choice. He's like the one guy, you need him. And there was no like, oh, they crucified Jesus and he came back 3 days later. No, it's like, nope, John Connor's dead and now it's some other, wasn't it a kid? Like a female, well, she was younger, I think. I don't remember the details. I'm fine with that, except for you just told me John Connor was the key. Kind of like if the Matrix, they killed off Neo in the first or second movie. Or maybe the Matrix, and they just killed him off like, yeah, we didn't really need him.
How many movies or TV shows can you name where the entire cast is killed off? I don't mean like you've got a cat, like you've got this TV show, and this TV show has seven main characters, and 3 of them were killed off. What's that?
I don't know about killed off, but Mount Rushmore itself, they're all dead, aren't they? No, they weren't killed.
But no, man, I'm talking about everyone. Everyone that has ever appeared in the cast is killed off.
I know of at least one. Spoiler alert. Lost.
Well, shit. Okay, fine. I know of at least 2. God damn it.
I mean, technically, because weren't they all in purgatory or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah. Netflix. Ooh, Netflix used to have this series called Hemlock Grove.
Oh, I haven't seen this one. Okay.
So Hemlock Grove featured a bunch of stuff. Werewolves, vampires, etc. Right?
Well, this is down your alley, man. You must be excited. This is going to be good, right?
Yeah. I mean, it ran for I think 3 seasons. I didn't see this for the first time until 2021. Wow. So while I was on
Netflix,
coming back from. Yeah, when I came, or 2022, when I came back overseas, I was on quarantine. So I was on quarantine. What's that?
They do that just in case you bring something home, like a
yeah, I had gone home on R&R, and when I came back, I was on 2-week vacation. 2-week quarantine.
We need to talk about that. Have you talked about that before? I don't think we've ever talked about that. That's kind of interesting.
What quarantine?
Is that pretty standard for like overseas deployed?
Yeah, I mean, they just put you in this tent for 2 weeks. Not an actual tent. It's
But you're not supposed
building,
to, to
heart building.
to be close to outside people, right? I mean, a true
Yeah, and
north.
you can't leave other than to go to the bathroom or
You're like
take a
the
shower or
astronauts.
something.
You're like the
Huh?
astronauts, right? Every time they brought astronauts back from the moon, they had to quarantine too.
But the people,
That's interesting.
your coworkers they freaking hated that because they're the ones that had to bring your food to you, 3 times a day and stuff.
Because you couldn't go anywhere and you could not. Yeah, I mean, it defeats quarantine if you could just go out amongst the general public, even in the
Yeah,
base.
what really sucked is like if you're,
That is
let's
interesting.
say you're expecting lunch. Let's say you eat lunch at 12
Okay.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Or maybe everyone else goes at 12. Maybe you usually go at 1.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're running late,
Uh-huh.
and it's like 2:17, and you're just like, yeah, I'm getting hungry. Like
Yeah.
I
What's
didn't
the
eat
deal?
breakfast. I didn't eat dinner last night. Last time I ate was probably lunchtime yesterday.
I'll eat my socks.
Hey, you guys are like an hour and a half late. Where the hell's the food at? Come on now, what's going on? Lunch ended like 30 minutes ago.
They don't care about you.
And at like 3:30, they finally show up with the plates, and the food's cold as hell, and it's some nasty ass food that you wouldn't even touch. Like, what the
That,
hell is this? Like,
that,
bring me bring me a damn ham and cheese sandwich. Like, what is it? Bring a ham and cheese sandwich with an apple. Come on, like, it's not that hard. But you brought some nasty ass food. Like, that's you don't know what people eat. That's why I always say a sandwich is very simple. It's easy and it's safe. Everybody's gonna eat a sandwich.
and you don't have to worry about it being cold because, in fact, it's probably better if it's cold. Oh,
Yeah. So,
that's interesting about that.
yeah. So being on freaking quarantine was bullshit. But my old roommate, he's like, "Nah, man, you don't have to be in this damn quarantine. You know what? Come to my room with me, because we're roommates together, anyways. He's at work all day, so I'm basically gonna be in the room by myself all the time, anyways. And when he comes back after work, he's on his side of the room, I'm on my side of the room. So there's your 6 feet. And a lot of times, he probably had a girlfriend or whatever, so he probably left the base, which he wasn't supposed to, but he probably doesn't have that job anymore, so it's probably easy to talk about that now.
You're fine.
So he probably left the base and went to hang out with her anyway. So
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you could. They would just let you do that, though? They weren't that strict about quarantine?
no, for him. For me, I mean, I was probably had to stay in there, but I mean, as long as you're separated from everybody, I mean, as long as you're quarantined, you're good. And then after the 2 weeks, you come off quarantine, you go back to work.
That's interesting.
But oh yeah, those guys I work with though, freaking what was the company? The last one I worked for.
Okay, so even the private jobs would quarantine you?
Oh yeah, military jobs, civilian jobs, everyone, yeah. Um,
The
that
one
was a
time they
requirement.
didn't, you gave them all the plague and they had to get antibiotics. And
Oh shoot! When you had to go on vacation, and you had to go in for your damn quarantine test, or what do you call it, your COVID test,
oh,
those motherfuckers, they take that damn thing that they give you is like that damn big, and they
you
just
get,
jam that motherfucker up your damn nose. I'm like, Jesus Christ! By the time I'm coming out after the damn test, my damn eyes are all tearing out like this. I got snot coming out like. I'm like you. I looked at that guy. I'm like, you motherfucker.
they got
You
some
just
brain matter on the end of that Q-tip. They got some brain matter on there to make sure it's
yes. I'm like you mother effer. You just raped me with that damn cattle prod.
yeah. That's funny.
Oh man, shoot. They are not freaking gentle with those son of bitches at all.
Okay. Well, that's the other part is don't they inoculate the hell out of you when you go overseas anyway? So I'm wondering what they're worried about. They like usually use a pincushion on the way over. So I'm wondering what they're worrying about you bringing back. I didn't know that about quarantine. That's kind of interesting.
And that's the thing. You have to get a negative COVID test before you come back overseas, anyways, right? In order to travel. So
Yeah.
you don't need to go into quarantine when you get back overseas.
Okay.
You already have that negative COVID test.
Is that really what they're worrying about nowadays more than anything? Because everything else they probably have inoculated to your yellow fever, hepatitis, doodads, whatever. Probably. Because they treat you like a pincushion, don't they? Especially if you're in the military. They jab you like crazy. That's interesting. We'll have to talk about that more.
Yeah.
Oh, see, so TV show. So what was it called? Hemlock. Was it Hemlock and
Hemlock Grove, I believe it was called.
Hemlock Grove?
And when I say that the entire cast dies, let me explain. a random 14-year-old girl that appeared in the second episode. You had no lines in the show. You just were walking by, you bumped into the shoulder of the main cast member, and you just kept on walking. You had no lines. You really didn't have any interaction with any of the characters. That was it. You had one appearance in the second episode of season 2. You had about 3 seconds of FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? At some point during that 3-season run, you are going to be killed off the show. Because you had physical FaceTime on that show,
Oh, really?
you are going to be killed off.
Maybe they should
And
use
if
the
you
quarantine.
think I'm exaggerating, watch Hemlock Grove.
They kill
Any person who has ever appeared on that show was killed off eventually. Whether it was sometime during the first season, the second season, or by the series finale, every freaking character dies. I'm like, wow. This is worse than freaking Oz or Sopranos or The Wire or Game of Thrones or basically or Dexter or any of those shows you could think of that kills off their cast members.
Mm-hmm.
That was freaking insane. I'm like, unbelievable. I think for that reason, it makes Hemlock Grove like one of the most interesting freaking shows to ever be made.
They weren't shy to kill people off. Game of Thrones was good about that, though. I mean, I guess Sean was going to get killed off because he gets killed off a lot. But
I think they knew that they weren't coming back for a 4th season. So by the end of the 3rd season, they're like, you know what? Everyone must go. We're Final Destinationing everybody.
That could have been on a list of horror movies too, couldn't it? Final Destination. I didn't think about that earlier.
Well, shit, my wife's been making me watch the entire freaking franchise the last few days.
I think I missed the last couple. Because after a while, are they doing anything groundbreaking or new in the new one? The same thing happens with Saw too. It's just like, let's ramp up the traps that they put the people in. But after a while, you're kind of like, yeah, okay, it's an interesting trap.
Yeah, we watched part 10 recently, and I'm glad they call it 10 and not Saw 9 because Spiral was technically Saw 9. So I'm glad they figured that part out.
Is that a new Patriot then? Why is it not letting me type, bum? No, I'm not watching Raw yet. Anything? I don't know. Man, Backlash was terrible. I'm glad I didn't. I'm
not watching Raw.
After your line,
we might jump on afterwards.
It'll be something I'll put on in the background while I'm doing something else tonight. Once we're done with our live stream. I don't know. I want to it's kind of WWE's now AEW status for me. But the new figure collections, man, I don't want to buy. I just went on after. I think it was the Sunday live stream that Bum did. Talked about. I think was it Great Kabuki we thought was sold out. I went out to J&J and it was still available. So I ended up making 2 or 3 pre-orders of KWK figures at J&J. I got strategic based upon their release dates. You know how because they'll hold them back. Like if I ordered something that's due in March, April, and May, they'll hold them back until the May figure ships. So I'm like, well, okay. I ordered both Great Kabukis because they should probably be shipped at the same time. Enough to get free shipping, right? And then I'm like, I've got one of the Sheldon Benjamins, and I think who's the guy, Genichiro, the 3 belts. I think they're going to be delivered about the same time. So I'm like, okay, that'll be pretty safe. And then I made a 3rd order. I don't remember who I got. Maybe I finally got Jameson. Joe Gacy. Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, WWE just cut a bunch of people. And what's interesting is that they're printing money almost literally. They really could. That's where, at least to AEW's credit, Tony Khan might overspend for some of their wrestlers and not use them quite right and doesn't know how to tell a story. But they treat their wrestlers better most generally than WWE does. Because WWE, man, they could hire all of us in this live stream and pay us 6 figures to not wrestle, and they would still be printing money just from WrestleMania. There was no reason they had to get rid of it. I understand it's still a business, and ultimately, I think what happens is TKO probably wants to sell one of these days. But you feel like, man, could they do something better than just releasing these people? I don't know.
Do you hear that WWF or WWE is going around targeting YouTubers who are putting out wrestling content?
They've gotten more aggressive lately with that. Yeah. Have you gotten anything taken down?
What was it? 6 months ago, 8 months ago, whenever, or 4 months ago, whenever I did that live show where I was showing the Royal Rumble in the background, and it was a really shitty quality. Like I put it on the TV, and I had my phone, and I was just like kind of recording the TV, showing the '89 Royal Rumble, and
they got you immediately with that one too, right? Because I didn't even
No,
get to
I
see
was
it.
like 50. I was like 52 or 55 minutes into the live stream,
Well, yeah,
and
but
I
not
had
during the live stream they got you. Even they didn't wait till the next day, right?
yeah. I mean, well, yeah, like 55
I never
minutes
got
in,
to
but
see it. I never got to see it, and I don't think I was. I didn't know it was coming at the time, so I never got to see it. They
yeah, I
took
mean,
it
I had
so
like
quickly.
800 something, almost 900 views on that video. So that video would have like tore up. I probably would have had like a few thousand views probably.
Is there a safe way
So
to do that? Because the live stream would be kind of cool. Is there a safe way
yeah,
where we just describe what's going on and tell everybody a watch along? I think that's what Cornette will do. He'll say a watch along and say, okay, turn on to this and start it now in 3, 2, 1, but won't actually show you the wrestling match, but talk about it. I wonder if that's allowed. I don't know.
probably, but
Maybe.
I mean, I like to actually have the actual footage, you know. I noticed that Cubs baseball, like when I try to go to like let's say the Cubs website
Yeah.
and you can like watch Cubs games, but you're not really watching Cubs games. It'll show you like an animated Cubs batter at the plate and animated pitcher on the mound, right? And it'll show 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, strikeout, something like that, or
Yeah.
fly out, ground out, home run, something like that. So you're not actually seeing anybody play; you're just seeing this animatronics go on, and I mean, maybe we could do something like that, but same difference. It just doesn't give you the real appeal to watching the live action.
Oh, I guess I could just say so. Yeah, Lynn's talking about Mid South and like Jim Duggan used to be the man there, and it's interesting how many very top territory wrestlers got called up basically to WWF at the time, and then they were almost turned into glorified jobbers or merch sellers, really. Because Duggan, I don't think he ever got the right push, but he did need to because he sold foam 2x4s and he had a nice gimmick and the kids liked him, right? So Vince said, well, he doesn't need a belt. I think he gave him the kingship once, but him, Coco Beware, those types, even Ted DiBiase, really, all these big territorial faces and heels got called to the WWF, and then it was like, well, it was more fodder for Hulk Hogan or mid card status. Coco Beware, I don't think ever graduated out of mid card, but he was a big, he was a big wrestler in the territory days. Um, Now, admittedly, it probably wasn't all bad because I think they got paid more in the WWF than they ever did in the territories, but you still feel bad because because when I first saw Duggan and Coco Beware, especially Coco, he was kind of a jobber gimmick guy, right? He had the bird, Frankie, and he would do the oh yeah, and he could sing and all that stuff. But you never trusted him as a real wrestler, even though he's always in shape and he could do some high flying moves, especially back then, all that fun stuff. But they never pushed him. And then later on, I find out about the history, like where he came from and how he was a big wrestler before he came up to the WWF. You're like, well, what happened to that? Why didn't they use him for that? Because Vince didn't need him for that. Part of really more of the damage is Vince just hiring the top talent of the other territories. That was probably his first MO was, hey, let's diminish Mid South or AWA or whoever, right? They weren't all Hulk Hogan's he was buying. He was just literally just like, let me see if I can damage that territory because I'm taking over. And there was
Yep.
nothing wrong with that. It was a great business move. But you still wish now, after the fact, and you see some of these guys, you're like, man, I wish they would have pushed Duggan or Coco or Ted even. Ted worked though. His gimmick was really good. He's the $1 Million Man, so I can't complain. That was a very good gimmick. He just never really. Well, I guess he was a tag team champ a few times, but it's interesting to see that though. Had the glove? Did he have the glove in Mid South? What was that? That's interesting.
McMahon called
Yeah,
them up.
basically that's what they did, Lynn. Yeah,
Gimmick them out.
Yeah, who was he? Who was Coco with? Wasn't he in a tag team that was pretty big too? Yeah, Matt Bourne. Later became Dink, then later passed away.
Dink.
Wasn't he? Wasn't he the original? Or Doink?
Doink.
Doink.
Yep.
Yeah, Dink was the little guy. But I think Matt Bourne was the original Doink, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because I remember watching the Dark Side of the Ring on him, and then they might suspect, I think his wife at the time, or maybe it was a girlfriend, might have killed him, but he had drug problems, of course, because it seems like they all did. He was in the first WrestleMania, though, as himself, I think, if I remember correctly, Matt Bourne. I didn't know at the time.
I still haven't watched that son of a bitch. Like, I put that on months and months and months ago. WrestleMania 1. I put that on months and months and months ago. I put like 45 minutes through, and I was so freaking bored out of my mind. I'm like, I'm done with this. I think there was a Hogan and Piper match. I think there was a Big John Studd Andre match I wanted to watch really bad, but like I just couldn't stomach watching it. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, a lot of people who do too. One, as far as match quality, I think maybe was that when the Sheik and Volkov won tag team champs, or Maybe there's a belt change there. I think they did. Did they
I
beat?
don't think so. I don't remember.
I do.
All
I
right,
think
let's
I
say
do
get to that
remember.
part.
Andre and Stud was like a body slam challenge. Was that WrestleMania where Andre slams Stud and then takes Heenan's money and starts throwing it to the crowd until Heenan steals the bag back? And then I think that was WrestleMania 1. The problem also was that the main event was a tag team. It was Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, right? Because we're in the depths of rock and roll wrestling and having celebrities versus Piper and I think
Orndorff.
And then was he wore the cast. What was his name? Orton, wasn't it?
Bob Orton.
Bob, I think Bob Orton was in that. Yeah, because Bob Orton was in their corner. Jimmy Superfly Snuka was in their corner. You can kind of forget about that. And then I think they had Muhammad Ali as like a guest referee, but I think he was already deep into his dementia or whatever he had. So if you notice, they call an audible, and I think Pat Patterson was the in-ring referee, and they put Muhammad Ali on the outside because he couldn't do the job really. But that was definitely WrestleMania. He was all about bringing in the celebs. WrestleMania 1. WrestleMania 1 was largely forgettable, really, other than it started it all. They didn't call it WrestleMania 1, of course, because there was no guarantee there was going to be a 2. 2 was kind of interesting because they had the 3 different, the locations, which I think was a Starcade gimmick, or he stole that from someone. That's why he did the 3 different things, just to prove that he could do it. Right? I think he did New York, Chicago, and LA. I think Starcade or one of the other ones had done that before. I'm thinking it was a Starcade thing. And then, of course, 3 broke everything open. Of course, 3 had a lot of good matches. And then it was history after that, 4 and 5, and it just kept going. King Kong Bundy, that was WrestleMania. So it's interesting. King Kong Bundy goes from main event in WrestleMania 2. In fact, that was the last match of WrestleMania 2 because they went out to LA. It was a cage match, Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy. WrestleMania 3, King Kong Bundy gets thrown into the early card in the midget match with Hillbilly Jim. He goes from main eventer to working with midgets. And you're like, oh, okay.
Final 92.
It's kind of interesting. Cowboy Bob, yeah. And that's why I don't even think the tag team was that great. I was never a Mr. T fan. He did okay, but he wasn't a wrestler. And then I think they brought him back for 2 because I think Piper, Mr. T had a boxing match, which didn't work out real well in WrestleMania 2. Mr. T to me is largely forgettable. I understand.
Did Piper win that one, or I'm sorry, did Mr. T win that?
I think Mr. T won via disqualification because I think Piper like body slammed him or something, right? Eventually. Though I think really Mr. T wasn't much of a boxer. I mean, he played a boxer, in Rocky, but in real life he wasn't. I mean, he was a bouncer, but I don't think he was a boxer. So even boxing wise, I think Piper was beating him. Like legitimately, if it was a real boxing match, I think Piper would have beat him. So I think they I don't know if they intended for him. They probably intended all along for him to disqualify himself, but it felt like they called it early because it was kind of boring. It was not. You're watching wrestling. It's kind of like the Brawl for All. Brawl for what was that? Remember the Brawl for All? Is that what it was called? Where they tried to do like legit fighting. It just doesn't work. It's not a very good. You're watching wrestling for a reason. I'll watch boxing if I want to watch boxing. I watch UFC if I want to watch UFC. It just doesn't work.
A Brawl for All.
Was it IBM, Lynn, or it was something? It was definitely like a computer commercial he did. I don't know if it was IBM or if it's something else, but yeah, I vaguely remember that too. As a kid, I didn't know that though. That's why it's interesting here about this later on. Yeah, Bart Gunn won Brawl for All, and then Butterbean destroyed him. So, yeah, they brought because they didn't know. Well, the problem is, I think they all along they thought Dr. Death was going to win, and Bart Gunn. I think Dr. Death tore like a knee muscle or leg muscle of some kind.
Yeah.
And Bart Gunn knocked out a few people, including allegedly, apocryphally, the whole point was Vince Russo wanted to make JBL, John Bradford Layfield, look like a chump. Because JBL used to say he could beat up anybody legitimately in the locker room, allegedly. And Bart Gunn did. I think Bart Gunn knocked him out, actually, which is good. I'm not a big JBL fan. He's kind of a twat in real life. He's kind of annoying. He's got some good gimmicks, but it was kind of fun to see Bart Gunn. Because Bart Gunn was kind of a nobody, really. But they were not expecting Bart Gunn to win at all. So they're like, now what do we do? Oh, well, we'll feed him to Butterbean. And what's interesting is the only time Bart Gunn fought it like a real boxing match was against Butterbean. Like Butterbean said, that was his huge mistake. Butterbean's a legit. I know he's not Mike Tyson, but he's an actual legit boxer. He knows how to box, and he's got a strong punch. Bart Gunn should have been, because the rules, it wasn't a real boxing match, right? Bart could get away with some stuff. Brawl for All had some weird takedown rules, right? It's like wrestling, like amateur wrestling combined with boxing. There's some funny rules about it. If Bart Gunn would have not treated it like Bart Gunn would hold back, right, and Bart Gunn should have just attacked him. And he didn't. He held back, and I think it was a first round knockout. Yeah, Butterbean knocked him on his butt. And then I think pretty soon Bart Gunn was out of wrestling, or at least out of the WWF after that, because they didn't know what to do with him, and they weren't counting on him winning. So that was another dark side of the ring. That's the only reason I know, because I wasn't watching wrestling when this was a thing. I totally missed. I didn't even know, but this was a thing until the Dark Side episode came up. I'm like, All for All? What the hell was that? I never heard of that. It's kind of interesting to see. That's why I really like coming back in July. I think Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know what story they have left to tell, but that's where you learn about. Like, I don't know if it was Adrian Adonis was the Dark Side of the Ring, but you remember some of these guys you watched in the '80s wrestling, and I didn't have the internet, and I was a kid, so I didn't know. They just would disappear from WWF, and you didn't know where did Dino Bravo go, where did Adrian Adonis go, and you find out later on. Oh yeah, car accident. Maybe he was. Maybe he was. What was he? He was importing cigarettes, I think, from Canadian native things, and gotten wrong with the mob. They suspect Dino got assassinated, and you're like, wow, okay. So that's what happened to Dino. Oh, I did not expect that.
Yeah, the first time I've heard of this Butterbean guy is through Major Bendy's, because I got one of his 4-inch Bendy's figures, and I'm like, who the hell's Butterbean?
I remember seeing him. He's more of a gimmick boxer, because he's a big King Kong Bundy looking guy, but he had strong hands. I'm not saying he's going to beat Mike Tyson, but he knocked the shit out of you if you weren't guarding yourself.
Yeah, the tough thing about collecting a lot of these figures is, are these guys people I grew up watching, or are these new age wrestlers? Because a lot of time, they change gimmicks so often. Like, they could be people you grew up watching that you just don't realize it. Because I had no idea who the hell that was, because I don't remember him from my childhood, and I haven't watched wrestling in like 25 plus years. So it's like, I sure in the hell don't remember him from adulthood or anything, or know of him from adulthood. So
I vaguely remembered him as a boxer before the wrestling stuff. But now, do you remember? So Lynn's mentioning someone, Gary Albright. I don't know this person, but it looks like he married into the NOI family, but he died of a heart attack at 36, which unfortunately is also a symptom of the NOI family. They've got a lot of people died. Remember through marriage, he married who did it say here? Monica. NOI. I admittedly don't know the full chain, but as soon as you say
tough guy contest.
Oh, was he? Did Gary? Says Stampede Wrestling. Various promotions: UWF, All Japan, Extreme Championship Wrestling. Oh, he made a single appearance. But Albright wrestled at the World Extreme Wrestling Show in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. After being hit with a cutter, he collapsed. Oh, did he die in the ring? Yeah.
Who died in the ring?
This Gary Albright. He had a heart attack in the ring.
Oh, damn.
At a World Extreme Wrestling event. Yeah, I don't know him, but so he could be on the list of Dark Side of the Rings. He looks like a big guy. I don't know if they list his height here. 6'4", 350. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't know him. That's interesting. Once again,
so I was just thinking, man, like last week,
those guys that die young.
The guys that have been working on my backyard, the pool deck area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, his brother or brother-in-law, stepbrother, whatever he is also the guy that's been building my website, and he also took my card backs, and he's supposed to be building the card backs and posters for me as well.
We haven't talked about Maniac Riot Wrestling in a while, yeah.
No, and when I talked to Tim last week, he said his brother Steve, the guy that's building my stuff for me, that he's nearly complete with the website, and that he is almost done with the cardings or whatever, so that it should be finished, and I should have it in a couple days. That was last week. I reached out to Steve several times. I haven't heard anything back. He hasn't responded. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I am going to either respond out to Steve today or tomorrow, probably both. And if I don't get a response, I think my next course of action, there is a guy on Facebook, Frank Benzo. I come across his stuff all the time, and he's a Facebook friend.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar, Benzo.
Yeah, because he posts card back designs all the time, so he designs his own LJN card backs. So I like his work from what I've seen. And if he can create the card backs for me, I didn't want to go through these other guys, because these other guys were trying to charge me like over $1,000 to create like 3 or 4 card backs. And I'm like, man, that is a lot of freaking money just to design these posters.
I got the wrong job. I
Yeah, and
think
I'm probably
I've
going
got
to need like a bunch of designs for these because Bastion Booger's probably going to need a couple of different cards by itself because I'm probably going to have one individual poster design for just him,
okay.
and then a secondary poster card back where it's
Like,
going to be all of the figures on the back of it.
yeah, right. Good.
Um,
Like a mini checklist kind of thing. Yeah.
and then all 5 wrestlers. So, uh,
Have you paid him up front? Was it Steve
no.
that's doing it? Good.
And yeah, and he's never, and that's another thing. I've asked him in the past, like, what is he going to charge me for? He's never given me a price. I don't know if this is going to cost me $500 or $10,000. Now, if he starts asking me for like $10,000, I'm like, I'm gonna look at him like he's freaking crazy. That's not going to happen.
There's
If he asks me for
traffic
like,
outside my window. Go play in it.
yeah, and now if he asks me for like $1,000 for like to do the artwork and the website, that
Everything,
seems reasonable.
everything, yeah. Maybe.
But if he asked me for like $3,000 for all of that, then I'm like, then I'm still gonna look at him like he's crazy because that doesn't seem like that it costs that much to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
To build a website should cost like $500 or something, 250. We're not talking a lot of money
I mean,
to hire
anymore,
someone.
you could probably use AI to generate it even. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
for my computer job, but how's yeah. Okay, so hopefully they just got busy. If they're doing it as a side job, because I used to do some side jobs for a while, and then I thought it wasn't worth it. So I could see that, like if their main job was doing computery stuff or something else. Sometimes it's hard
Yeah.
to find time to do the
Um,
side job, but at least I should respond back. That's the problem. As soon as you reached out to me, I'm like, oh, sorry, Wadi, I've been busy for this, that, and the other thing. It's graduation season. Maybe I had a son, daughter, niece, whatever. I just haven't had time. I'll get back to you Friday. But to ghost you doesn't give you warm and fuzzy feelings. They
yeah.
should at least respond back with, I got you. Hold on a sec. Give me a few days. I've been behind because of X, Y, or Z. Yep,
The
life gets in the way. I get it.
and Bastion Booger and Damian Riot should be ready. I'm hoping by June for the first sample.
Woo.
So let's say I approve the sample, production should
Saving
begin
up my money.
quickly. So let's say the production is done by, let's say, mid-July. Okay, that now where's my card back templates and poster templates and all that? So I really have to start. I can't afford to sit around anymore and be patient and let people take their time. I have to be forceful now
Yep.
and really get the ball rolling with these guys. I can't let them, take 6 million years to do the work. So
Yeah, before you had
if he,
something to sell, it was okay. Let's take our time. But eventually, I need a website to sell this stuff on.
yeah,
You know,
and if he can't make the stuff for me, then I'm going to someone else. And be like, hey, here are the previous posters and card backs that we had designed. Um, we aren't going to use these exact same designs, but we want something. But this is something similar to what we were going off of. What can you come up with? Work your magic and see what they can come up with.
how's the pool and deck though? Are they okay?
Yeah, my contractor hasn't been back in like over a week and a
Oh,
half. He pretty much finished most of it. It's like 99.9% complete, 99.5% complete. But the few little things that are left over, that's what's frustrating.
yeah.
Like that little step that leads to the ground, I still want that put in because I still gotta weed eat the stuff on the bottom, and I don't want to be jumping down there all the time. I want steps to actually be able to walk down.
Yeah.
He still has come back and put the ladder back into the pool, but he needs to actually install it into the pool so that it's built into the
Okay.
deck,
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
like it was before.
That'd be cool. Have you used the pool
Um,
this year, or is it still too cold?
yeah, it's still been too cold. Plus,
Yeah.
I don't want to. The
Too low.
ladder's not in the pool yet. Before it was built into the deck, they built the deck tiling over the ladder, so the deck was built in, or the ladder was built into the deck with the pool and everything. But when they cut everything out and when everything started collapsing and breaking,
Oh, yeah.
they changed it. So
Don't remind me.
I'm hoping that they could pull those tops off and resituate the boards the same way that they had it situated before.
No.
Because if we just sit the ladder directly into the pool, it's taking up like that much space when before it was taking up that much space.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now the guy's not showing up anymore. I'm like, dude.
Did they get busy? Are they ghosting you? Yeah.
Yeah, he's been always telling me like, yeah, man, I'm not leaving this job site until you are 100% satisfied. But
Well,
dude, like you've seen that all of this has been completed, and now you think that we're done. I'm like, but we're not done. We still got to get the bottom of the deck complete. You know, the dirt. You said you were going to lay down plastic over the dirt, and you were going to lay down mulch or rocks or something,
oh,
so
okay.
that we're not stepping into dirt,
Yeah.
straight into mud every time it rains. What happened to that? You said you were going to install lights around the decking. What happened to that? Where are my steps? Why isn't this sauna? Why hasn't this hole been patched up yet? Why hasn't these steps been patched up yet? Why hasn't the cement over here been poured yet? Why hasn't this step over here been smoothed and straightened, flattened out yet? So I mean, if you, I've been writing down like all of what I've been paying them at so far. If you look at all of the dates and prices, I pretty much gave them a year's worth of salary just from this one project. They could take the entire year off. They don't have to work anymore this year.
And have you paid them all that you owed them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They've been, yeah.
So unfortunately, they
Hell.
don't have a reason to come by. You always have to hold a little bit of money back, don't you? Really, to keep them honest. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but these guys, they're not the same as the last crew that I had. The last crew, those guys were actual scam artists. These guys, I mean, they're honest people. They've actually shown up and actually did the work.
But
But it's
have they
just,
been cooperative, or they just been busy? Like, why haven't they gotten back?
yeah, I mean, now that the job is mostly complete, now they're actually taking new jobs. So they're building new decks and stuff like that. So you know they're taking on new jobs and new positions and stuff. But I mean, still, um, I'm so close to being 100% complete, and the fact that I'm so close to completion and just not quite over the hump,
Yep.
it's frustrating. And the fact that I lack talent in pretty much building stuff. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Like I would love to be able to have the knowledge and expertise to be a carpenter or whatnot and be able to fix the stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know how to do any of that stuff,
But
man.
unless you've worked with wood, you'd be learning on the go. And for me, I always worry I'll mess something up. So I'm blessed that I can afford to pay someone, but you still have to find the right contractor. And I don't mind. I'm usually helping small businesses, so that makes me feel good. But they're working hard for their money, because in fact, I haven't paid for my final. I did a little drainage project, but he has one or two small things left to finish. So to his credit, he hasn't asked for the other half yet. So I've just been waiting. I'm like, oh, okay, until you come back and finish it. I still owe you half. That's fine with me. I'll keep that half back. So that's you just kind of have to watch it. I'm not saying I'm an expert at this, but it's pretty typical. Half up front, half when it's complete. But it has to be complete.
Absolutely. Shoot.
Yeah. So Maniac Riot. Are you still in cahoots then? In contact with the factory? How are we doing there? Booger.
Not that often. I only contact them when I have questions or follow-ups or if they have follow-ups with me. Um,
June though.
I think the last follow-up was, status update regarding Bastion Booger and Damian Riot. Like, hey, the first mold I got back in like 6 weeks. This one has been, I think, end of February is when I paid for the mold, and it's been what, 2 months now? All of March, all of April. What's going on? Why is it now 2.5 months later almost, and I'm still waiting for the first sample to get back to me?
Yeah, because it'll be
Why is
June
this
here in a
one?
minute. June will be
Yeah,
here
like
before.
why is this one taking longer than the first mold?
Mm.
But okay, I get it. You had the the Chinese New Year in February. I paid for this mold after that, so that shouldn't have been an interruption. They had some kind of holiday, I think, in the beginning of May.
Oh,
Some
really?
kind of, so they took them another week off then. But man, they're just really procrastinating.
I thought those communists should work harder or something. They got all these long holidays.
Well,
I want some of these long
man,
holidays. Where are my long
the guy that I'm working with, Bruce, at the Alibaba factory, I like him. I like working with him, so I don't want to
holidays?
switch factories because the dude that I'm working with has been really helpful. And when you build that good relationship, you want to keep working with someone that you trust.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
But at
And
the
you don't
same
know, you could
time,
get into a worse factory. grass is always
Yeah.
greener, right? Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, you know what? That's why I'm contemplating whether or not I want to move somewhere else. When Sean at KWK mentioned, hey, I can work with some of the guys that he's worked with and sign his guys and go through his factory. Here's the thing though. I'm looking at some of the new product that he's coming out with his factory, and I'm
Mhm.
not liking the
Oh,
material that his figures are coming out with.
okay.
Like if you look at the original material of KWK, the original Max Moon, Mantar, those figures, those things I always rate those some of the best figures, Hasbro style figures you've ever seen in your life. But now you start looking at some of the new KWKs, the skin tone of it, they just look so faded. They just look so. I would almost put them in like Rush neighborhood almost. And I don't want to do that to KWK because they were my favorite brands. So when Sean's approaching me about, hey, possibly going through his factory, I'm like, I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, dude, I'm seeing the new product you're releasing, and it leaves me concerned because your product isn't as good as what it had been in the past, and I don't want to. I don't want to be concerned that my LJNs are going to be as not what I'm expecting them to be. So
You get nervous, yeah.
I might be expecting big rubber guys quality figures, and I might be getting Random Treasures, Bob Backlund quality.
Have any of those figures from KWK been released yet, or are they still the prototypes that you've noticed?
I
You know,
mean, some of them have been released. Some of them
you remember any of the
are
really bad ones that you didn't like?
like when Bum was doing his
Mhm.
Orient Express. Love
Oh,
the figures. I think their accessories are incredible. I think their look is spot on, but their skin is too white, too peachy. So I think I like the texture of the skin, the skin tone. I think it looks too plasticky,
oh
too
no.
fake.
And here I just made a bunch of KWK pre-orders. Could have been brought to
But
my yesterday. No, I'm just kidding.
but like, and I've been seeing a lot of these figures, right? And I think they look solid, but the skin of the figures, I don't know. Uh,
Yeah.
that the pimp dude, I forget his
Oh, yeah.
name.
Flash Funk.
Flash Punk, thank you.
Okay.
Love the figure. It looks incredible. I love the accessories and
Still need to
everything,
get one. I want one.
but I don't know. I think the skin of it just it looks like a dollar store made figure.
Interesting.
Like the skin, it looks fake, if that makes sense. So if it was like a $15 figure, I'd buy it. But at $40, I don't think I'd go that high. Hey, Steve, what's happening, man? Yeah, man. I've seen Slumber Party Massacre. Like I've seen the clips of it. Like I know of the movie, but I've never actually sat down and actually watched it straight through ever. And when Beefcake, when he mentioned that he watched the Omen, a couple months back
Oh, we haven't
or a
talked
few
about
months
that.
ago,
Yeah.
and he said that he absolutely hated the movie. It was so stupid. I'm like, just the way he mentioned that he didn't like the Omen. I'm like, I gotta see this movie now. Like, I gotta see why it's so bad. I couldn't find the original 1970s Omen. I think it's 76, if I'm not mistaken. But I did see like the 2005 Liev Schreiber remake, and I really enjoyed that movie. So I'm thinking like, hey, maybe if I go off of Big Beef Cake's review of Slumber Party Massacre, maybe he likes the movie, maybe he doesn't. But either way, this could be a good review to go off of, and maybe I watch this movie, maybe I'll absolutely love it. Or maybe he's right, and maybe it's a real turd of a movie, and I'll absolutely hate it. But otherwise, it's still a horror movie. I still feel like as a horror fan, it's something I should watch at some point in my life.
So,
Oh, Maniac Cop. That's another one I should watch that I've never seen, but I feel like I should. That I feel like is in the same ballpark.
huh, you guys need horror movies. So, do we need a top four? We need a Mount Rushmore from Steven. Is Steven a big horror film fan? You see, our topic is Mount Rushmore of horror suspense producers and directors. Steven, do we have the top four
I'm gonna write that one down.
and or
Deadly
eggs?
friend.
Kelvin and I are talking, or Lynn, no, Lynn and I are talking about eggs. I do love me some eggs. I love breakfast. I can have breakfast at any time, but yeah, I forget what it was. I don't know. I might still have it on me when my dad passed. I might still have that hard boiled egg thingy. But honestly, hard boiled eggs are pretty easy to do anyway. I think I learned that from my aunt. she would always boil them in some kind of pan with a lid. And once the water started boiling, she'd turn it off. Just let it sit for 5, 10, 20 minutes, whenever it's cooled off. And they'd be perfectly hard boiled. If you like that sort of thing. I found it funny. I don't know how kids nowadays do Easter, but as a kid, my parents would hide real eggs, hard boiled eggs. And I suspect that's because mom and dad loved hard boiled eggs. And admittedly, as a kid, I started to appreciate them too. I think nowadays it's all fake eggs that most people use. But what's interesting, we were talking about this past Easter with my sisters, is that we remember having to find them and they would count. Because sometimes they would forget whenever mom and dad hid the eggs. They would count and be like, uh-oh, we're missing 2 eggs. Because they're real eggs. You don't want to just leave them around all year, right? Maybe left them outside, maybe, So they're like, oh, we need to find them. We're missing 2. I guess that's the one benefit of using fake eggs. But then we would. What was fun is because you take the time to dye them. I don't know if y'all did that. Was it Pal or whoever? Yeah. You dye the eggs and do some funny stuff. Yeah. It only really works with real eggs, I think. But then we would celebrate once we found them all. We'd all get around and eat a couple of hard-boiled eggs. Probably my parents were doing that to keep us from eating all the candy. But I love hard-boiled eggs, and it's kind of a neat little moment. I don't know if kids nowadays have hard-boiled eggs for Easter. They probably don't. And admittedly, I don't even know what eggs go for. I haven't bought eggs in a while. I buy a lot of like pre-made egg, breakfast type things that I can warm up in the microwave because I'm lazy. But that was a nice little throwback. Hard-boiled eggs are really tasty, and it's a nice quick snack. Maybe it's high in calories, but it's good calories. You're not going to get diabetes from it. It's going to satiate you real quick. You're going to get fat and protein and all the good stuff. And if you're worried about the calories, I think you can just do just the egg whites. But honestly, the yolk isn't bad for you. You'd be hard pressed. You'd have to eat a lot of eggs for it to really get bad. And that's what I always found with those kinds of things that satiate you. I could eat tons and tons of chocolate, but I can only eat so many eggs, even if I love eggs. Because after a while, you're like, I'm full. Chocolate, though, I'm just like, oh yeah, just keep Oreos.
Hey, I think I got something to add on to your Easter conversation with Steve's question right here.
I don't know about pickled eggs though, but
yeah. So Steve was asking about Jason's XOX figure.
Oh yeah,
I haven't been keeping track, so I don't know how many figures he sold. I mean, once upon a time, if you'd asked me, hey, Jason Nupp has a new XOX figure, is it going to sell out? My answer would have been absolutely. If she had a batch of 25 figures, I think she would have sold out within a day or 2. That would have been my answer. If you go on Etsy right now and look at how many Jason Nupp figures have sold, I don't know the answer because I haven't checked. I haven't looked. I haven't bought an XOX figure since, I want to say, April of last year.
They're the ones that have the problem with. They have a problem, don't they? Like, don't they start chipping or fading?
Yeah, I mean that's been an issue. That's one of the reasons why I stopped buying. Number one, with all these other companies making cheaper figures, that's one reason. Number two, the fact that there's no packaging, that's obviously another reason. Yeah. With me making my own action figure line, I obviously need to save my money, and that at least with mine, posters and figures and everything, packaging all being included. If people are looking at my figures as customs, which they're not, and I hate that. I really wish people would stop referring to, and I kind of blame myself because I'm trying to advertise Maniac Riot Wrestling, throughout Facebook and to all the different collecting groups. So I post it to, or I share it to all these different groups, and they include LJ and custom groups. Even though these aren't custom figures, I want to send it to the groups because they're still wrestling fans. They're still LJ and collectors, etc.
Perfect wheelhouse, yep.
And I'm trying to tell people they're not customs because they're original figures. They're going to a factory. Once they're in the factory, that tells you they're store-made figures. Yep. That eliminates customs.
And you're gonna have all the packaging, bubbles, card backs, posters, you name it.
Okay. Yeah. So a custom.
And then your buddy James Duck can come along and be like, "Well, actually,
yeah, that freaking
James Duck. He's done. He's taking BRGs and repainting them and charging $1 billion for them." I'm like, seriously?
I commented on.
That's literally what he's doing, right? Those are BRGs he's repainting. That's all he's doing. And he's like $175 a piece for a $50 figure. I'm like, what the heck? What are you
doing? We're gonna be bouncing around, and I feel like I'm gonna lose focus on what I was getting to originally. But I want to hit on that too. But check this out.
What a
he
jerk.
he that posting you're talking about.
So,
He took a Mattel LJN $25 figure.
oh, the Dusty
Took
Rhodes one, right?
took the head off or took the Dusty Rhodes head off
Oh,
of
this
Big
one's
Rubber Guy
worse. It's a
$50
$25.
figure.
Yeah.
Put that head on a $25 Mattel LJN body of Dusty Rhodes
Yeah.
and charging his buyers $125.
Could you imagine a $25 and a $50 figure, and he's doubling that price just to cut
Well,
off
it's
the head?
$75 together, but all he had to do was super glue the head or whatever, maybe paint around it to make it blend in or something, and you're charging $50 more for it than the two figures cost together.
But why? Does that
And
need to happen?
I,
Both figures are good on
but
their by the
to
figure.
super glue and blend and to cut the head, I mean, how much is that? How much time does that possibly take? An hour
It
to
was
sit there and with a scalpel to cut two heads off,
yeah.
some super glue, and then some paint.
But wasn't he giving you crap over not being original and shit? That's the
And
worst.
here's the thing: he's calling my Damian Wright figure a rip off of Jimmy Hart. Here's the thing:
That's what's so funny. He's literally ripping them off. He's combining two existing figures. He's not adding any value. He's just taking the head off one and putting on the body of the other. That's literally his definition of ripping off.
exact and
And
he
then
and the
charge for
Damian Wright
premium.
he's saying is Jake Roberts' arms on a Jimmy Hart body, but nobody is. But if you actually look at Jimmy Hart, his body compared to Damian Wright, it's not the same body. Look at Jimmy Hart or look at Jake Roberts' arms, the hands and the position of the arms compared to the actual Jake Roberts LJN compared to the Damian Wright. It's not the same. It's very close, but it is a slight differentiation that makes it unique.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's just a damn troll. He's a troll. He's a clown. Uh, and I hate that people go onto his pages and they actually like his comments and his postings. I'm like, that makes me so damn sick. Like, how are people friends with a disgusting human being like that? So
Yeah.
I went onto that posting of his and I made a comment. I'm like, so let me get this straight. You're cutting off heads and gluing them onto bodies, and you're charging $50 more. And how is this better than what I'm making with actual factory made figures? That comment doesn't pop up on my notifications anymore, so I don't know if he blocked me or if an admin blocked me or deleted or I don't know.
I
It
don't think an
wasn't
admin did. I saw yours, and he was getting dragged. You weren't the only one who was dragging him in the comments. He was getting dragged. Everybody else was like, "So you did this, did that, and you want to charge 120 for what?" Well, and what was he solving? Both figures are good on their own merit. Like I don't understand why the head from one and the body from the other is making the perfect Dusty Rhodes figure. I was kind of confused by that too. Just buy both. I've got both. I enjoy them. The end. Well, I never would have thought to cut off, but I think he's got like a repaint of the most recent BRG Bulldogs. He just repainted them, and he wants like $75 for them. I'm like, really? Is crack legal in your state? I mean, that's not marijuana level. That's crack. Maybe some psilocybin, some hallucinogenic drugs. I'm like, what are you smoking over there, guy? But because he has the temerity to talk about you ripping off, like you could say this as an homage to Jake the Snake or Jimmy Hart or whatever, but he's literally just taking two figures and smashing them together, or he's literally just repainting a figure that another company released. How unoriginal can you get? You just repainted a figure. Good job. But the money he wants to charge for repainting an existing, like literally all he's doing is repainting some BRGs. The Dusty Rhodes, at least he's cutting a head off and doing that's some actual work. But the other ones are literally just repaints. I'm like, if I was artistic enough, I could probably do that. And you're saying, so for $100 set, you want to charge me $175 because you painted their butts with the Union Jack or whatever instead of whatever it was. Oh, okay. Is it really worth it for me? No. Oh, but then he'll throw in some probably crappy looking belts. I'm like, yeah, good job, James. To have the temerity to give you crap over not being original. It's hilarious.
So Steuben, I did not buy the Jason Up figure. It was one I was strong. It was actually one I was actually considering compared to all the other figures over the years or over the months since the last purchase. But I thought about it this way. Instead of buying the Jason Up figure, I'm like, you know what? When my line comes out, how about I just reach out to Net and trade her one of my figures for one of her figures?
That could work.
So, she may not give a rat's ass about my stuff, and she may not want to lose, that money. So she may not want to do a trade, but who knows? Maybe she would have interest.
Well, she can always say no. You can ask. She says no. Okay. Excuse me.
I can't believe Jason has only sold 6 figures though. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's where it is tough to sell figures, isn't it? I mean, even like now, admittedly, maybe it's bulldog fatigue, but those bulldogs were on, the WrestleCon specific bulldogs. They're on the Collect Major site for a long time before they. I'm not even sure they both sold out yet. I know one did. It's maybe there's some fatigue. I wonder if the Mattel LGNs are cutting into it a little bit. I don't know. I wonder how Collect Major is doing. Like I said, like Steven asked about the suited Andre. I basically pre-order when in doubt. I pre-order anyways because I know the second day market's going to be unkind. And the suited Andre is a good enough different mix for me, especially because I missed a bunch of the other ones. Though Latrini's coming out with a suited Andre too, and that's probably a reason why I'd order them both anyways because I want them next to each other. I'm not sure. I already pre-ordered the Davy Boy Smith and the Danny Davis. I'm not real excited about Danny Davis. And really, do I need another Davy Boy? But I do like that he's coming with another dog. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I like that British Bulldog because he is the British Bulldog that I can remember.
Oh, yeah, and he's got
With
the
that
cape.
outfit.
He's got the
But
cape too, so that'd be interesting.
that
But
would
don't
be
we need
what, the
another
fourth.
Davy?
What is
Right.
that? The fourth British Bulldog in the line already?
Yeah, sounds right. Blue, white, and then the most recent multicolored one. And now this will just be Davy Boy by himself. No Dynamite Kid. But
Yeah.
did I need
So
another Davy Boy? I'm glad they sweetened the pot because that's what irks me too. We talked about they've released like 7 different Ric Flairs in the same stance, same pose, but just with different colored trunks. And they
at
couldn't
least this
be
one they
bothered.
changed up, which makes it better.
But couldn't they at least throw in a belt in each one of them? Is it that expensive? They only gave you a
Yeah.
belt in one of them. Like one of them they made bloody, one of them they gave you a belt. The rest of them were just like, oh, he's non-green. Is that enough of a difference to order another Ric Flair in the same pose? Like, at least give me another other figures or something. It can't be that expensive. You already designed the belt. You could probably mass produce them. They should probably just throw a belt in every figure. Why not? That won't hurt anybody.
Yeah, Steven, pulled
With dreads.
and deck has been completed.
Does he have dreads?
At some point, man, I don't know if I'm going to do a live show to talk about it because there was a lot of crap that happened with that
Oh, he
damn
does.
pull and deck, like a lot of stuff, and that's a long ongoing conversation. Or I could just make a video, but generally, like when I'm on the phone, I have my phone up and I'm walking around and I'm talking, I get tongue tied and I start stuttering and I just make a fool of myself a lot of times. So I generally don't like the whole walk and talk and
Oh,
chat. So a lot, but like if I'm, walking around and I've got the camera and I'm doing a live show or something, I'm talking to you guys as we're walking around, I'm answering questions, I could take the time to like stop, pause, answer questions, kind of explain, what happened with each scenario. I'm not just, walking around talking and walking and talking, right? I'll take time to pause in certain areas. But I like the thing that you and Lynn had going on with the candy for Easter or candy in general,
oh yeah. I was trying to
because
think of Easter candy, Halloween candy, candy in general. No other Mount Rushmores we could do.
but it's got to be like multiple Rushmores in one type of deal. Like, Mount Rushmore favorite candies versus favorite Easter candies versus favorite Halloween candies. So it's basically like 3 Mount Rushmores in one video. That way it takes you through like a whole hour or so.
And I mean,
Because you just
admittedly, some of the candy is generic. It doesn't like when you say Easter candy. Oh, I like Twix and Milky Way. Well, that could be all year, right? Is that really Easter or Halloween?
Because like I could sit there and say, well, my favorite candy is Milky Way, or I could say my favorite Easter candy is the bunnies or the birds that with the carrot with the
Peeps,
marshmallow
Peeps.
peeps. Thank you.
Those are very
Uh,
divisive. Not everyone likes Peeps. I used to like Peeps though as a kid.
yeah,
I was one of
so
the weird ones.
like I love peeps. I love peeps,
Also,
especially
cheese.
during Easter or whatever. Or actually, they start coming out for like Valentine's Day too, and like other holidays. But
It took them forever, but now they've got a different holiday themed. I think they even have Christmas and Halloween Peeps now. But it used to be as a kid, all you had was Easter. I don't know what they did the rest of the year, but they didn't. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't make marshmallow in July. Can't
yeah,
do it.
but like like that is an awesome Easter candy. It's on my Mount Rushmore of Easter candies. But like, would that be on my Mount Rushmore of candies in general? No.
I don't think so. And I like Peeps. Peeps though feels like the candy corn of the Easter candy though. Not
And I,
everybody. And admittedly, I'm not a big candy corn fan, but I love candy pumpkins.
And even though
I'm a
candy
weirdo.
corn isn't a candy that I would put on my list of top 4 favorites, top 4 favorite Halloween candies or top 4 favorite Easter candies, I would put it on my list of top 4 underappreciated candies because I love candy corn.
I like the what they call mellow cream is the generic term. Yeah, and so that's what I was going to go with, Steven. As a kid growing up, Cadbury eggs were my number one Easter candy. Probably I became like my sisters though, especially one of my sisters. They really liked the Reese's Pieces eggs. For some reason, in egg shape, they taste better than Reese's peanut butter cups. It's the same thing, but in egg shape, for some reason, they taste better. That was her favorite, and so I'm like, yeah, I can see that. Cadbury eggs are still very special in my heart. Cadbury eggs, Peeps, the Reese's peanut butter eggs, and then maybe jelly beans were my dad's favorite. I appreciate them, especially now. There's a lot of companies making good jelly beans. Was it like a Robin Hood's egg? There's like a malted milk egg or something like that. It was like jelly bean adjacent, but chocolate. Those were always pretty tasty. Okay, so yeah, how about Easter candy? What was your top four Easter candies?
Are we doing that today or are we going to wait till
Oh, we can wait. I don't know. It was just top of mind. I was thinking out loud now. I'm
I
like,
mean, we can still do it today and then have it as a later stream. I mean, it could still be a topic of discussion. Doesn't mean we could, seclude it to just one stream. But
candy.
I mean, I know Peeps is on that list. I mean, that's a guarantee.
That's nice.
I would have I don't remember the name of it, but they're like little chocolate eggs about yay big. They were chocolate on the outside and little marshmallows on the inside.
Ooh, marshmallows though. I wonder what that would be.
So they were
Not,
chocolate
not,
covered marshmallows.
yeah, not Cadbury. I wonder what. I don't know if I know that.
Cadbury eggs, like you said, chocolate marsh with the little cream on the inside. I mean, those obviously be
Those
number
are great.
3.
They were so easy to eat too quickly. And you only get a
And
few of them. And you're like, oh, I'm out of eggs now. Cadbury egg, damn it.
number 4, I wouldn't say that this would be a favorite, but it's nostalgic and it's Easter-esque.
Okay.
You'd always get those packages that are like yay big. You open up the package, you pull out this big ass rabbit that's like that big,
Uh-oh.
and it's a big ass rabbit of chocolate.
Gummy bears. Okay.
It's,
Yeah.
it's big ass, thick milk chocolate rabbit.
Was it hollow though? It seems like most of the
No,
chocolate gummies I
it was
got.
hard. No,
Okay.
it was thick, hard straight through.
Most of the
So,
ones I got were hollow. And that's what the disappointing part was. You'd be like, oh, this whole thing's made of chocolate. And you bite into it, like, oh, it's hollow.
nah, man, those damn rabbits we used to get, those damn things were big, thick. You bite, it would take you freaking days to eat that darn stuff. Plus, we used to put them in the freezer, so when you'd be sitting there,
Ooh.
you'd be
Yeah.
like a damn mouse, like gnawing on that son of a.
Oh, what's hollow? That's pretty funny. My parents hated me more than your parents hated you, apparently. Given the thick rabbits, mine were all hollow. Though, admittedly, even if they were filled with chocolate, probably not my favorite. I don't know. Chocolate bunnies were never my favorite. There's so
Oh
many
yeah,
tasty
man.
chocolate out there. Probably ahead of that would be jelly beans. I think it was like robin eggs or like malted milk egg. Is it robin's
Man, they were
eggs?
only a pound. Why do I feel like they were so much bigger than that?
Well, I mean, as a kid though, a pound of whole chocolate, chocolate, thick chocolate, on hollow would be a lot in one go. Especially if you froze them, like you said. I like the idea Steven saying with the Charleston chews. They don't give a lot of love. That'd be an underappreciated.
Well, Charleston chews are one of my favorite candies. I love them. I mean, I put a lot of stuff in the freezer. I think they taste better, but I
That's what
wouldn't put
Steven said.
Charleston chews myself.
That's what Steven
Actually, yeah, I would. I put Charleston chews sometimes.
apparently out of the freezer. Probably Cadbury eggs, Peeps. Those Reese's peanut butter egg cups. They're basically peanut butter cups in the shape of an egg. And then probably, I think they're like robin's eggs or like a malted milk egg, something like that. I remember. But jelly beans are also good, depending on which jelly bean you go with. I tried a few this past Easter because I hadn't had Easter candy in a while. I was nostalgic for jelly beans. I never used to like jelly beans as much as a kid. That was my dad's favorite, but then it kind of grew on me later on. I think Jolly Rancher, Starburst, Skittles maybe makes it. I think was there a Nerds or a? I'm trying to think of an hour. No, not an hour later. There's a few. There's a lot of. I'm not even talking Jelly Belly. I think Jelly Belly are kind of overrated for the price. Um, but Peeps, yeah. So not everyone likes Peeps, and they're very nostalgic. Maybe nowadays I wouldn't get Peeps as much, but as a kid I remember loving them because we would always trade. Like, okay, I'll give you whatever, and I'll take your Peeps because my sisters didn't like their Peeps. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take it.
Did you ever have bags of jelly beans, or did you always have those little plastic eggs that had the jelly beans inside them? I swear to God, that's the only time we ever had jelly beans.
Oh, really? That was not a trend when we were kids. I mean, that's a real big trend. The plastic eggs filled with stuff. As a kid, no. I think probably because my dad liked jelly beans so much, we always had like a bowl of them available in the house around Easter. You know what I mean? Because he loved them so much. The two things he really loved that grew on me later on were those and sandwich cookies. Because sometimes we'd buy the generic ones, basically Oreos. But he liked to get different flavors, lemon and vanilla and wacky orange. I think there's an orange one. Sometimes they were generic, sometimes they weren't. Those were his go-tos, were jelly beans and sandwich cookies. And as a kid, I didn't always like them. But then when I discovered dunking them in milk, it didn't matter if they were generic, crappy sandwich cookies. They were all very good. I actually don't like Oreos as much. I think the chocolate's kind of funny in them. And it's only gotten worse. So I really dug when my dad would get off flavored ones. They're basically Oreos. They're all sandwich cookies. They're all Oreo like, but he'd get vanilla or lemon. Lemon was a go to he really liked. I think there was an orange. I'm not sure if there's any other fruit ones. Or sometimes I think in the generic ones, he would get, it'd be a mixture. You get like vanilla and chocolate and maybe a third, almost like a Neapolitan sandwich cookie. Those are the two things he really enjoyed. That finally wore off on me.
You know, Lynn, the Mary Janes and the Bit of Honeys.
I remember.
I actually made a posting about those two candies, I think last Halloween, because we were trying to talk about these candies that like everybody hated or like nobody can remember the names of. And that became like a big old thing that nobody can remember of. And I remember searching for those particular candies after the live stream and posting them and like, oh yeah, dude, you found it. Yes. But they're like a caramel honey tasting candy, little Tootsie Roll type of deal.
Biddle honeys, right?
No, the what do you call it here? The
yeah, I was trying to
what's
remember.
that?
I was trying to remember what Mary Janes were. I don't remember those as
But
much.
they're little small packages, but yay big, little thing they unwrap. They're like they look like Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, okay, yeah. It says molasses was a popular confectionery ingredient. Old-fashioned taffy type. I do love taffy. Made from peanut butter and molasses. Yeah, they weren't as common around me, but I'm seeing a picture of them. Mary Jane, are they still around? Like I think Stephen was asking, or Tony was asking about Hydrox. I think Hydrox is still around. We never had Hydrox as a kid. In fact, we didn't get Oreos most. I'm pretty sure most of the same cookies that my parents and my dad would get were generic. But
Hey, I told you guys a few weeks ago, you guys got to invest in Tootsie Roll. Mary Jane, that's another thing you got to invest in.
I think Tootsie Rolls are around, aren't they?
Oh, also invest in the Mary Jane candy as well.
I was going to say there's a lot of marijuana stocks. Is that what you're talking about? Mary Jane's got a different connotation. After you smoke Mary Jane's, you'll want to eat a bunch of Mary Jane's, apparently. I do love taffy. I don't know about
peanut butter molasses. Wow, that seems interesting.
In my town, we used to have, I don't know who owned the factory at the time, but they used to make Laffy Taffies here in my town. And what was nice is you could go there, that and some different chocolate bars and stuff. Because what's nice is, of course, you know, the chocolate bar has to be pristine to sell. Well, when the chocolate bar breaks, well, they're not just going to throw it away. So you could go to like their outlet store and buy chocolate on the cheap. Because it'd be all the broken chocolate bars in a bag. And I think somehow, I don't know if the Laffy Taffies were deformed, but whoever owned them at the time also made them in this factory. Now I think it's Ferrero Rocher owns the local factory. But it was kind of neat to go there and buy the banged up candy and chocolate. I don't think they do that anymore. But Laffy Taffy is a go-to. I really enjoyed Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, well, when she buys those, she buys big ass bags, so like little pieces that get big.
Of Laffy Taffy?
Yeah, but I mean, when you eat those, you can't really eat them because they stick too much to the roof of your mouth. So it's like
they're very sticky.
But they're delicious, especially the yellow lemon ones.
They're very sticky, but tasty. I like taffy.
Yeah.
Salt water. So Mary Jane would be a good one. I just don't see them as much. You just don't see. I don't see Mary Jane's in the store much anymore. Do they still?
Yeah. Maybe.
Does Starburst count as like a taffy-ish?
Yeah, I mean, I would. I'd count it.
It's not quite sticky.
Yeah, I'd probably count it as a sort of taffy-ish.
Is it Bomba or La Bamba or what is it called? There's another one.
I'm not sure about that.
Not familiar.
Hey, Steven, answer to your question, man. I'd say root beer is number one. You know, Dr. Pepper would be easy number two.
Which root beer? Do you have a preference?
I mean, it had to go down anywhere between Barks, Dad's, A&W.
No mug? No love for the mug?
I mean, mug is fine, but I'd probably say A&W root beer is probably the best.
I think A&W is really easy to get, especially diet, because I'm a big fan of diet sodas. So probably that's just because it's easy to get. Whenever I can get Diet Barks or Diet Mug, I'm not even sure they still make them. I will get them though. They're just harder to find.
Yeah. But
Mamba, yeah, Lynn's down with it. Mamba, yes, you know what I was talking about. They're a little different kind of Starburst type. I remember liking those as a kid, though. Mamba,
you know what the
makes me
toughest part of it when it comes to pop, like
Boston
the
baked
first
beans.
two are easy, but what do you put in after that? Like what comes after? I mean, Coke and Pepsi, maybe, but now because of all these additional flavors, all right, do you like lime Coke? Do you like cherry Coke? Do you like vanilla Coke? Or do you just like plain Coke?
Crack Coke? No. Okay.
Absolutely.
I
Uh,
There was a
I'd
neat
probably
one. I
go
think it was
Dr.
tasting like a creamsicle. There was an orange Coke that I tried last summer, the summer before. I don't find them as much. What's interesting is Dr. Pepper's up to their flavored game more than Pepsi and Coke used to have a bunch of different flavors. And I think when COVID happened, they stopped making vanilla, strawberry, orange Coke and Pepsi for some reason. But Dr. Pepper's got, I think there's a Dr. Pepper and cream. Strawberries and cream is good. Blackberry, I think. There's a few other ones. The strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper is excellent, though.
Now explain to me how a company or a
Yeah,
product that has 23 flavors
adds a few more.
doesn't already have those flavors.
Apparently not. Apparently no strawberries and cream were in the 23. I guess. Yeah, that is kind of funny. I'm a big probably Pepsi Zero is my favorite, or maybe a Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew or Diet Mountain Dew Zero if I had to choose between the two. I was more of a Pepsi fan, but I like Coke Zero is great. Diet Coke sucks. Diet Coke's terrible. I'm not sure. That's like the most popular soda I think still, and I don't get it. It's got a very distinctive weird flavor. I don't know
Which
what.
one?
Diet
Coke?
Coke. Just plain
Yeah.
Diet Coke. It's got a weird flavor. I mean, I understand a lot of people like Coke. For me, that's too much sugar, especially because
I've never had Pepsi Clear.
I don't remember having it as a kid either. I would like to try it again, but I don't know if Pepsi's ever going to make it again. Cherry Pepsi, Coke Zero, cherry is pretty good. Yeah, I like the ginger ale. What's one of the more common ginger ales? It's readily available in the zero sugar. Now everything's zero instead of diet. Apparently, diet's
Canada Dry or something like that.
Canada Dry. That sounds right.
Oh, dude, I was just thinking about that not too long ago. Damn.
I think that in fact there was a ginger ale. It's like a ginger ale. Maybe it's Canada Dry ginger ale zero with strawberry or cranberry something.
Dude, I
Cranberry
got a question for you.
was pretty good.
I got a question for you, and I got a question for everybody in the comments.
47. Am I close? Blue. Omaha. Am I close?
Nebraska.
Nebraska. Yeah. Going like Peyton Manning. Omaha. I'm calling audible.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with you,
Check
Steve.
this
I
out.
have diet only now.
When you're kids, every time you get sick, you get sick, your stomach hurts, headaches, you're puking all over the house. Uh, what does your mom get you for your stomach, right? She brings you a glass of freaking ginger ale. Some Canada Dry ginger ale. Now, why is it?
We were a 7-Up family, actually. You ever heard of
Well,
that?
7
7-Up?
Up,
That was,
Sprite, ginger ale,
it's
Mountain Dew.
interesting,
I
though.
always felt like they were always the same thing,
I
but
think I prefer the flavor 7-Up, but I think actually 7-Up on my stomach does better than Sprite, even though you think it should be the same thing. I don't know. Maybe it's psychosomatic at that point, but if
ginger
I'm
ale,
sick,
yeah.
7-Up's my go-to more than even ginger ale or Sprite or Slice. Is that still around? That's not on your thing. Is it Slice? Do you remember when that was a thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but why
well,
is
because
it?
ginger is good for digestion. I don't know how much real ginger is in the ginger ale, but ginger, the herb, is actually good for nausea and digestion and that sort of thing. So maybe that's
But,
why.
but why is it that whenever you're sick, you're always given this ginger ale pop to drink, right, to feel better? You never, every time you go you never
And then
see your family. You never grab ginger ale pop off the shelf.
when you're
You
healthy,
never
that
see,
no
you
more
never see your,
ginger ale. You're
you never
totally
see
right.
your family buy it. Like, where the hell does it
No,
come
it's not.
from?
Ginger ale's
Like,
not as
it just
popular.
magically appears in your icebox one day when you're magically sick. That you just happen to be sick, and and there it is. It just magically appears in your icebox.
Mom or dad goes to the store and buys some ginger ale.
Like
Apparently.
when we want to buy pop, we buy Coke and Pepsi. We buy root beer
Yeah.
or orange pop or grape
I was
pop or
going to say
something like that.
Sunkist. That's a great orange pop. I like Sunkist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
like
kinds of good stuff.
who the heck buys a ginger ale? Like that doesn't
Not as
happen.
often.
But whenever you're sick, bam, there she is, right there, front and center for you.
It's ginger ale. Yeah.
And I'm like, why? And I know I can't be the only one that has those memories, that has those recollections. I know other kids or other families are the same exact way.
Yeah, like I said,
And
we
that's
were
actually going to be that was actually going to be one of my topics of discussion for today that I just couldn't
uh,
figure out how to appropriately
oh,
name the darn
okay.
uh how to describe what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, that was the topic you mentioned. You didn't know how to put it in words. Okay.
Well, I mean that would have been one of my things I could have brought up
Right.
as one of my topics of my four Mount Rushmore, one of my four things about Mount Rushmore, but I just didn't know how to describe the topic or whatnot.
Lynn's suggesting do some ginger ale with some rum if you get some rum again.
There you
Probably
go.
plain, maybe plain rum though. The cherry rum you had wouldn't be bad. Because like I said, I think it was a cranberry frost ginger ale that I tried this past winter or the winter before, something like that. I like to try different flavors and stuff. Ginger ale is a very distinctive flavor though, so I don't always like it. But every once in a while, if soda's on sale, I'll typically throw in a ginger ale. Another one that is also divisive. One of my father's favorites, which I didn't realize as a kid. That's what the flavor they're going for is grapefruit soda. He loved Squirt as a kid, and it's every once in a while, it's another one of those that are like, okay, I'll have one bottle. You're like, okay, that was great. I'm probably good one Squirt for another 6 months or whatever. Like, I don't need to have it. It's the same with ginger ale, right? Like, now I'm going to go back to Coke or Pepsi or Mountain Dew or
I'm
whatever.
out. When you said squirt, I was thinking about those little plastic bottles that are like yay big, that little
Oh,
with the little rip off piece at the top, the little juice for the
is
kids.
more of a juice. Okay. No, this is an actual. I don't know who owns Squirt, but it's a grapefruit soda. Coke makes one that's also pretty good. What's it called? Fresca. That's a grapefruit soda. And I'll
Mm,
have one, and you're like, "Oh, that was pretty good. I'm probably good now for a couple months. Thank you."
yeah.
The ginger ale's the same for me. I'll buy a lot of times. I like to buy the 16.9 ounce bottles and yeah, drink them out of the fridge. So I always wait when they're on sale, and then I buy a bunch of them. And invariably, in one of those sales, I'm like, "Okay, I'll try A&W, a Sunkist, go with Coke, Pepsi, whatever. Go ahead and throw in a ginger ale just for something different." And then I'll enjoy it. 6 pack after a couple weeks will be gone, and I'm like, okay, I probably don't need ginger ale again the rest of this year. I'll go to next year. For me, 7 Up was the stomach settling beverage of choice. For some reason, it works better than Sprite. Ironically, and I don't know why, but Jim Cornette's favorite is Sprite. And every once in a while, I'll buy it to try again. And I'm like, yeah, Sprite just doesn't taste as good to me as 7 Up does. I'm not beholden to Coke or Pepsi or 7 Up. I think is Schweppes. Is it Snapple, Schweppes, Dr. Pepper, 7 Up? I think they're all in the same company now. Um, I try Sprite Zero every once in a while, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's not quite as good. There's a various if you like the cans. There's various flavored. There's like a lime, cherry, mango Sprite or something I tried, and it was okay. It's never as good as it sounds. The Dr. Pepper strawberry and cream though, it is as good as it sounds. I really enjoyed that. Unfortunately, it's only out of a can.
Mm.
Coke's
So
ginger ale is Seagram's. Oh, okay, Seagram's. I'm not thinking of the. I'm thinking of the wine cooler, so that's a different Seagram's, isn't it? Seagram's,
yeah,
Sourdough.
I've had Seagrams. That stuff's awesome. Oh,
I've never heard of
Steven,
it.
you were asking about the fireballs. Yes, I still or I still have the fireball and whatever the hell that green drink was, the one that goes with it.
My nephew loves Fireball.
But I haven't drank that in a while. Um,
You don't drink it anymore. You don't drink it any less either.
I mean, it's been probably a couple months since I've touched that crap. What the hell is that damn green bottle that goes with it?
With Fireball, was it?
Yeah,
It's a green bottle. It's not cinnamon flavored though. Is it another like a liqueur
no, it's
type?
not cinnamon. It's it's
Like green bottle.
pepper. I think it's peppermint. I
Okay,
think it's
like
peppermint that
schnapps,
goes with it.
like a peppermint schnapps or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, so it's the peppermint
I
and the
don't
fireball
think
that
I've
goes
heard of it.
together.
I don't
Well,
think I've
what?
heard
Yeah,
of
when I drink, I mean, they're supposed to go together, but when you drink that, you're basically doubling up on alcohol, man. Because it's like you're drinking one shot of the peppermint schnapps, and then you're drinking, the one shot of Fireball or vice versa. So it's like, man, I'm twice as drunk now.
it. Can you mix the two?
So yeah, so I hold off on that between the peppermint schnapps and the Fireball. Um, I also saw that you messaged about the collection earlier, but I kept getting sidetracked and I kept bypassing. I'm sorry. Uh, Honestly, I'm kind of feeling like I'm almost giving up on my collection right now. Not really, but sometimes it really does feel that way. You guys have seen over the last 6, 7 months, however long it's been, 8 months, man. Like I have not been collecting the way that I had been for the last several years. I mean, I've gone from having this channel for 4 years and
Yeah.
routinely making, purchases and doing review videos and doing room tours and stuff like that. That's been a huge part of the channel and things that I've enjoyed. And now I basically almost completely stopped collecting. I still buy stuff from time to time. Don't I mean, that hasn't stopped completely, but, as far as buying anything off of eBay, I don't think I bought any I bought in I don't think I purchased anything off of eBay in since, like, October off of one account. I don't think I purchased anything off of eBay in my other account since, like, last August. So, everything I'm buying is actually coming from sellers, wholesalers, Grapples and Gimmicks, or from, uh, the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, or, something like that, for example, from Target.com or something. So my purchasing has gone down, which means my videos has pretty much stopped. Like, you mentioned videos in the garage. Elle and I, we've discussed videos that I wanted to make showcasing all of the grapples and
Yeah.
gimmicks, the zombie sailors, the KWK, the figure collection, the stuff that I have on the back wall in the garage with the pegboards, because I want to resituate the way I have those figures aligned, because
Hmm.
they're not staged far enough apart. They're all, some of them are right on top of each other like so, while others you got nice gaps in between. And I
Hmm.
don't like that. So I don't like that setup. So I want to resituate the packaging and the bars on the pegboards. So I do want to resituate that. Now I'm hoping that eventually when I get the Maniac Rat Wrestling line out, a couple figures, maybe I'm making some money, maybe I can reinvest some into the line that I can make for the next set of figures, etc. Maybe I stop this line after one series, maybe not. If I do stop it after one series, hopefully whatever funds I made, I can reallocate to starting this collection up a little bit more, or maybe I can use those funds to pay myself back, because my God, all of this stuff over the last, year or so has been a huge financial burden. So,
Yeah.
um,
Maybe in a couple months, maybe in a year or so, deck and home projects are behind you. Maybe the Maniac Riot lines off and running a bit. They're not as much time and money sucks. Maybe you can get back to buying a few things that aren't in the. I think you're still trying to keep up with BRGs, maybe Latuni. There's probably still a few that you still want to buy, but you're not buying all of the retros that you maybe used to, or other maybe KWKs or something like that, right? You're still trying to be a little bit choosier. You're not
and
totally not buying. You're just not buying as much as you used to, right?
and the thing is, like review videos, I have to have a loose figure and I have to have a carded figure for
Oh,
my reviews.
buy two, yeah.
And I refuse to buy a second figure nowadays because I just simply can't afford it anymore. And I'm not gonna, if I only have one carded package, I'm not gonna open it. Um, I like the way the figures display on card a whole lot better. I'm not playing with these figures. I don't have any intention of taking out the package. It doesn't serve me any purpose to take it off the package. It's not going to benefit me. Um, some people are, hey, let him breathe, take it off the package. Some people are, hey, I got to keep it on package. I'm the MOC collector. I don't care about having them loose. Um, an old friend once told me that when I do my review videos in the past, it's like going to the store and showing people, "Hey, this is what the figure looks like on the pegboards." My review videos were nothing more than doing that, because all I was showing was holding up, the figure. Here's what the figure looks like on card. Turn it around. This is what it looks. The back of the card looks like, etc. What does the actual figure look like? What does it feel like in your hand, etc. So when he made that statement to me, I'm like, you know what? It makes a lot of sense. And he was right. So from that point on, I started buying 2 figures so I could open up a second package, and when I do my review, I could show what the figure looks like on card, and then I can have a second figure that I can open up, or, if it's already open, I can show someone, "Hey, this is what the figure looks like loose. Here's the front, back, sides, up and down. How is the head? How is the hands, wrists, feet, etc. Does it come with an accessory? How does that look?" how does it feel in your hand? Is it a good strong pose, etc.? And that just helped my review videos tenfold. So that was good input. But you can't do that anymore. I can't go out buy 2 figures of each individual piece every single time. So does that mean my review videos are gonna start slacking if I go back to making reviews again? Probably. So
Yeah, and you have that problem if you have to have two of them. I don't have that problem. Though I've never tried to do review videos, but deep dish. I wish that was the case, Lynn. I think Pizza Hut's fallen off. I used to love Pizza Hut exclusively for the stuffed crust, but now you can get that in a lot of places. So I haven't been to Pizza Hut in forever. I don't know if they've improved their formula, but I just haven't thought about them. Probably, yeah, thin crust. Probably for mass domestics right now. Maybe my go-to is Domino's. Maybe just out of habit. They have a stuffed crust option. They've improved their quality. I got on Saturday after our live stream. I think I fell asleep on my computer for a bit, and then I woke up hungry for some reason. I remember today was the last day of the 50% off at Domino's, and I made an impromptu delivery order. And one of them was actually pretty good. It was the Philly cheesesteak toppings. I think they got. They actually tasted really well. Um, but they have a stuffed crust that's not bad. I think even probably even of the bigger ones, if I only had to choose one of the mass domestics, Papa Murphy's is probably my favorite. They're a take and bake place. I don't know if y'all have a Papa Murphy's. First time I heard about it, I thought it was stupid. I'm like,
mm,
wait, I have to pay like 10, $15 for a pizza and then I got to go cook it? This is
yeah.
ludicrous. But the quality is still, to this day, is still really good. It's really fresh. Probably Papa Murphy's. And I think they had a stuffed crust at one point. I don't know if they still do. They're probably, if I had to. But I'm thinking I need the deep dish ones. But unfortunately, we've had a few of them closed locally. I think like Lou Malnati's out of Chicago is probably one of the more popular deep dish places. There's a lot in Chicago, though. I mean, you could just fall down and find a deep dish place. I'm too far away, luckily, from my waistline, because there's a lot of cheese and sausage in those pizzas. But I love eating with a knife and fork. I don't mind eating a pizza that's a pie, a real pizza pie, right? I mean, I'll dabble with thin crust. There's a local place that makes a really good thin crust, and it is local, only one location, and they're always busy, and they make a pretty good thin crust. So I'll go there every once in a while. But
So I've said this before,
Who gets
Domino's
next,
has made
please?
a huge impact lately. I'm
Well,
very surprised at how good the crust of their pizza actually is. But
they
Little
used to be really
Caesars,
bad. They've gotten better. I need to try Little
yeah,
Caesars again. It's been a while.
but Little Caesars will always be my favorite. And their deep dish pizza is absolutely amazing. I think they probably have the best probably the best pizza period deep dish
It's not quite
pizza.
Chicago style deep dish, but it's deeper. It's like a Detroit style, right? I think they call it. It's thicker, at least. It's a thicker pizza, typically, right? They have a soft spot in my heart because as a kid, we could. I think I've told more than once on the stream. There was a Little Caesars that was nearby our house as a kid, so you could walk to it because I was too young to drive or bike to it. And they were cheap. And they're still pretty cheap, but even back then they were really cheap. So even as a kid with just like lawn mowing money, paper money, whatever you had, allowances, maybe that's all you had, you could actually afford to as a kid get together and get like a huge thick pizza with all the meats and all the toppings and stuff for a reasonable price. And then if you like their crazy bread and all that stuff, plus it has the pizza guy, so that's kind of fun as a kid. But they were definitely had a soft spot in my heart as a kid. I just whoever owned the franchises locally, I think they all went bankrupt, and then probably for 10 or 20 years we didn't have a Little Caesars. I didn't even know if they're still around. Now they're back. I think we've got a few in town now again. There's a lot of pizza joints. It's a very what would you say? It's a very very competitive market. Pizza is.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah, Detroit style. There's also if you want Detroit style, I think it's a chain now. Jets Pizza. We just got one. I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard good things. And then we have another local place. It's a one and only place that does a Detroit style crust. It's a little more expensive, but I think literally this guy went out to Vegas this past year. I think he finished second in some kind of category for best pizza or something, which I could see. But what's funny is that this pizza place, the pizza's kind of expensive, but it's a short style, so if you like it, you enjoy it. And they've got funny toppings and they do fun stuff with it because it's more artisanal, kind of pizza. But the one thing I like to get there more than anything is they make a bacon Brussels sprout hot honey. It's like a grill that'll char the Brussels sprouts a little bit, and it's really tasty. Brussels sprouts are a surprisingly good vegetable and mostly good for you. I mean, the bacon sure is not perfect. The hot honey isn't too bad. They don't use too much, right? And it's just sweet enough that it takes away from the heat because I'm a wuss. I don't like it spicy. And then they char it just a little bit. I don't want it completely charred because then it just tastes like carbon or whatever. Um, Their Brussels sprouts are probably my favorite thing for them more than the pizza. I've gone there and just gotten the Brussels sprouts before. But it's nice because it's also a local place, so you're supporting local. Nothing against Domino's. I mean, like Saturday, I wasn't going to drive anywhere, and I think it delivered quicker than heck. I ordered Domino's at half off because they still had a 50% off coupon. And on my porch, like within 20 minutes or whatever it was, I had Domino's. I'm like, oh, okay. I haven't had Pizza Hut in forever though. I don't know if they're still. I don't know how bad they are or good they are. I haven't tried them in a while. They used to be my go-to because I love stuffed crust. I love anything in a crust. I think even DiGiorno's and some of the frozen places now have a stuffed crust pizza. I don't know what
Yeah, they
took them
do.
so long. I don't know what took them so long. For the longest time, it was literally only Pizza Hut, and I'm like, is there a trademark or something, a patent? Can no other pizza place have stuffed crust? But now a lot of them do. Okay, Jets. Yeah, I think we talked about Jets, right? We finally got one last year. I just haven't been to it yet, but it's a Detroit style pizza, I think.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I mean, who doesn't like food? Oh, that's interesting. Pizza Hut. I don't know. I think they have to get popular again, Lynn. Right now, I don't think Pizza Hut is in anybody's mind for like favorite pizza places. I do see a lot of Chicago style, the bigger chains from Chicago that are maybe only known in Chicago and maybe a few big cities. I have seen them. They'll ship frozen pizzas, but they're not as good, especially deep dish. You'll get like I don't know if Lou Malnati's does it, but I did like Giordano's. Um, I don't know if it's Rosati's. There's another one that I've seen in the grocery store. They're like, oh, you can get frozen deep dish. It's not the same. I mean, it is what it is, right? It's frozen. DiGiorno as a frozen pizza is pretty decent, but it is still frozen pizza. In a pinch, it'll do, but temper your expectations. I think pizza has to
Bum,
improve their quality before they do that.
I'm glad you mentioned that right there, Bum, because when I moved to Louisville, everybody kept telling
Ooh,
me,
nice,
like,
really?
you're gonna love all of the food here in Louisville. You're gonna love all the restaurants, yada yada yada, right? I get here, I'm like, food's good. I mean, and it's nothing special. I mean, it's food. It's edible. I
Barb,
mean, it's pretty much anywhere you go anywhere else in the world. I mean, okay. But what really puts it above and beyond? What's so special about here that's different than anywhere else you go to?
I don't know about Louisville for pizza, but barbecue's got to be pretty good.
But I also realized that we keep ordering from like the same darn places,
Yeah,
the brand name places.
I'm speaking of having
Like my
to.
wife, she keeps going to like Qdoba. I freaking
Oh,
hate Qdoba. Like that
oh, really?
that place is still
Our
sucks so damn
Qdoba
bad.
closed. Yeah, you get the huge burrito from them. Yeah, I
Like
love it.
I can't eat that crap.
Ooh,
Like
hot brown.
um, I can't eat a whole lot, so I eat very little. Like they
Oh,
make
I
these
can eat a
damn
lot.
burritos like that are like that big and they're like that darn thick. I eat like 1/8 of that burrito and that's it.
What?
Like I will sit there and work on that burrito for like 2 weeks.
You got to put on your big boy pants and eat that burrito.
I will I mean, I won't eat it every single day, but like occasionally I'll sit there, I'll cut a little piece off on it
That's
when I want to eat it. But I don't eat it every day, which is why it takes me like 2 weeks to eat it. And
Let's see if I can find. Oh,
but my wife,
damn it!
she freaking loves those darn burritos and tacos. But I'm like, they're not good. Like I don't enjoy them. Like I will not sit there and gloat about Qdoba because I'm not a big fan about it. What's that?
Can you see that picture? That's my hand, and that's one burrito.
Yeah, it's freaking insane.
That's a
That
local
Qdoba,
place called Veracruz. It's not a Qdoba. It's a one and done shop. They call it the El Macho Bravo burrito. It's literally as big as my entire arm, and I'm a big guy. I've got pretty big arms. Oh, so tasty. Now that one,
what kind of hot brown?
that one I'll probably eat half of. But that's a burrito. I love burritos, so I love going to this place. It's like a $16 burrito, but you can make 2 or 3
Yeah,
meals.
that's what. And so she goes to like Qdoba, and you think about the normal places,
Oh, my
fast food
meal.
restaurants like Taco Bell, McDonald's, the
Taco
normal
Bell.
places that a person goes to.
You have a
That's
Taco
universal
John's.
everywhere,
You like a
right?
Taco John's? Taco John's, and ours is
He
too far
doesn't
away.
like burritos. Actually, I mean,
I love burritos.
I'm like, I am not against burritos, but like, I'm not like the biggest fan. I'm not like obsessive with burritos. Like, I will say I'm, like, I don't jump onto DoorDash and be like, I could really go for a freaking burrito today. Like that's not me.
Why do you hate America?
But
I love burritos. I think
but
the other
like
day I went to Sonic and I got a breakfast burrito and a hamburger because they have
yeah,
breakfast
but like
burritos all day. I love burritos.
But I don't know the restaurant names because they're not your typical well-known establishments.
Hmm.
They're just, some random local Louisville restaurant.
That's cool.
But like
Local
last
breakfast.
week, my wife and I, we ordered these breakfast burritos. Inside there was bacon and sausages. There was like hash browns in there,
Eggs. Ooh.
uh, scrambled eggs, and probably something else. I don't know.
Maybe a
But
sauce. Maybe some
like,
onions. You ever get
and
into
it
that?
was just like a wrapped up burrito. And however they made it, it was freaking delicious. Like
Yeah.
this thing was, I thought like at first I thought she was ordering Taco Bell breakfast because that's what she told me she was making. She said she was getting Taco Bell breakfast. And I'm like, okay, freaking Taco Bell did right. Like, this is a freaking awesome breakfast burrito. She's like, that's not Taco Bell. I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought you were ordering Taco Bell. No, that's from yada yada yada.
Local
I'm
place.
like, yeah. I'm like, okay, this breakfast burrito was freaking awesome, delicious.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what's up.
and then yesterday, I'm
Surprisingly,
like,
Taco Bell burritos aren't bad for breakfast. You mean the other burritos are, and they are what they are. The breakfast burritos are surprisingly not bad.
yeah, and like
I
yesterday, I
like
was really feeling a bacon lettuce, bacon lettuce tomatoes, right? So,
BLTs.
she went online, looked up BLTs, and found this restaurant that was selling BLTs. Like, we're looking at like $20 sandwiches. I'm like, for a freaking BLT, dude.
Wow.
I told my wife, go in the icebox, grab a loaf of bread out,
Yeah.
put loaf of bread, some bacon, lettuce, tomato, some mayonnaise, dude. It takes 5 minutes to make a damn BLT. Like, come
Just fry,
on, $20 for a damn BLT sandwich?
all you can do is fry up the bacon, or you can even microwave it if you're in a hurry.
I will go
Yeah.
make the freaking BLT. Like, all right, fine, we're out of bacon. Got it. No, she had to order the BLT sandwiches, and they're like $15, $17 BLT sandwiches. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then we get the BLTs. I looked at those Southern the bitches. I'm like, damn. Now I see why they're damn $20 sandwiches. These things were like that damn thick.
Oh, okay.
But
You got your
I mean,
money.
you go to the store, like you go to Kroger or something. You buy like a thing of bacon, and they're like $8 for a thing of bacon, like
Yeah,
1 pound
bacon's
stack of bacon or
got
something.
kind of pricey, isn't it?
And that's probably what they stacked on that freaking sandwich. So you wouldn't buy their damn $17 sandwiches. They probably put an entire pound of bacon on that damn sandwich.
So that's usually why I don't like BLTs because it's not enough meat. A lot of places you get BLTs from, you get a couple pieces of bacon, and I'm like, well, I got more lettuce and tomato. What's the point? Put the piece
And
of
I'm
ham
like,
or
dude,
something on there.
that's
Then
all I wanted. Like I only wanted like one or two strips on there, like two or three strips. They freaking
really,
gave me they gave me an entire 1 pound worth of bacon on that sandwich. I'm like, shoot. I
man.
I actually sat there today because I ate one sandwich yesterday, but I ordered two sandwiches for
Oh,
myself. One my
yeah,
wife
they
ordered another one.
probably warm up pretty well. I like leftovers.
Yeah, so the third one I just cut in half. I had one today. My wife had the other half.
Oh, nice.
Um, I looked at my wife today. I'm like, you know what? I think the bread is probably my favorite part of this BLT.
What kind of bread was it? Was it? It wasn't just.
Uh,
No?
she called it Texas toast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it wasn't just like
honestly, that's
plain
part
white
of the
bread.
deal. Like at a
Yeah,
deli sandwich place, that's part of what I'm paying for. Plus, the cuts of meat usually are better if it's the right place.
yeah, but
Even
but
Panera, that they're kind of pricey. They offer different kinds of wacky bread. You want?
Panera, that's another place my wife orders from that
They're
I hate. That
expensive.
that
They're
drives me
expensive.
nuts.
They are expensive. But every once in a while, they have a deal. I got a deal on a soup and a sandwich last week, and it wasn't too bad. But what I really like there is the focaccia bread, because you can get different kinds of breads there. I think there's like a tomato bread, that tomato basil or something like that. The breads are kind of fun, and the toppings are kind of fun, but they just never quite put enough on there. So you always have to temper expectations. But for me, I never really liked BLTs enough. I need another meat besides bacon. Bacon's an accompanying meat. But it sounds like these would have been good. It's just I never get BLTs with enough bacon on them. Yeah. So Lynn's asking, do you like shrimp or fish?
Yeah,
You're
I was
allergic
thinking that right
to
now.
shrimp, aren't you?
Not shrimp because I mean
You're allergic
I
to
will
shrimp,
occasionally eat the shrimp even though I am
right?
allergic of sorts. Like
Okay.
my throat will start to fill up a little
Ooh,
bit, close off
I like bread cheeseburger.
if I eat shrimp or shellfish. So I'm not supposed to eat that. But regular fish, what is that one fish called? Tilapia?
Yeah.
I think
What?
when my wife makes tilapia, I'll eat that. That tastes pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Um,
pretty cheap. It's pretty affordable to get, and you can get it, regular fried, or I think I've gotten even frozen that you just have to warm up, and it's a good quick meal. I mean, heck, I'll even eat salmon out of a can a lot, and it's surprisingly good. Or I'll throw it on a salad. I try to mix in different meats and stuff.
or
Usually because I'm lazy.
she makes crab salad, which is
Ooh,
really good.
ooh, that'd be nice. I love crab.
So
Never liked lobsters much, but I love crab. Don't eat it. Yeah, shrimp if you're allergic to it. I'm not allergic to shrimp, and I've been getting into it with some Chinese and other Asian foods. But most fish I like, even catfish. Catfish has a distinctive flavor. There's another local place here that's got a kind of a hodgepodge of food. Me and my nephew went a couple weeks ago for the first time, and we got a butter chicken. I think it's called an Indian dish with garlic naan, and then we got
Definitely.
fish nuggets. I think chicken gizzards, and then chicken liver. And I think we got something else. So it's like a mixture of stuff. Everything but the gizzards. The gizzards are kind of they didn't have a distinctive flavor. They were just chewy. The liver was good. I don't know. That's not really a meat that everybody really appreciates. I wish it had onions with it. It seems like liver and onions always go as well, but it was fried. The catfish was excellent though, and then the butter chicken I think it's called. It's an Indian dish. The garlic naan was really good, but it's kind of like a weird mixture of stuff all in one place. Like I don't know how to describe the joint. I don't even know who owns it, but
My
that's
wife specifically buys that stuff. She
what.
specifically buys gizzards and livers so that she could give it to the cats.
Oh, okay. I
And
got it.
you think those mugs eat that stuff?
Love it.
They don't even touch that crap. I'm like, thank you for
Oh,
wasting this.
yeah. I get it because the chicken gizzards I hadn't had in forever, and they were just so chewy. Once they cooled off, they were super chewy, and they really just didn't have a flavor. Chicken liver though was good. I'm not saying I need it. I probably prefer the catfish actually. I like fish of all kinds, and especially because all this is
You
breaded and fried,
know.
so it doesn't really matter what fish it is. Breaded and fried fish of any kind can be excellent, right? I don't really care. Chicken hearts. I don't know if I've ever had chicken hearts. Turkey knuckles. You have pickled pig's feet. A buddy of mine from the south talked about those. I'm like,
Man, that all sounds gross.
that's okay. I mean, there's plenty of good parts of the pig that I enjoy that I don't need the pig's feet. He swore by them, but I'm like, well, you had to probably grow up with them. Yeah, so I was thinking, Matt, in Kentucky, you got to have a lot of good barbecue around you. I love barbecue.
It's probably, but like I don't do barbecue. Like I'm not
Oh,
a fan of
yeah.
barbecue myself.
Dude, you
Now,
lived in
when I
Texas.
say I'm not a fan of barbecue, like I enjoy barbecuing.
Oh, grilling out,
Like
but
that, like barbecuing is fun. I would say, like you can go outside barbecue some hot dogs or hamburgers all day. Barbecue, as in like barbecue sauce and
that's a,
like
or,
barbecue chicken
or
and
maybe
like that.
smoking.
I don't like. I'm not a fan of that.
So you lived in Texas for a while, and now you're in Louisville, and then two hot spots of barbecue, and you don't like barbecue.
No, I'm not. I'm not a fan of that. No.
Barbecue's excellent. I don't have the patience to smoke, but I mean that's where it's at. If you can smoke, there's another local place that makes really good smoked food that I'll just pay
Like
extra.
they'll go down here and make some damn briskets or something. I'll look at them like, what the hell's a damn brisket? Like,
Brisket's
no,
excellent, but you gotta smoke that sucker all day, and I am way too lazy for that. Plus, I don't have a smoker anymore.
and dip
But
them in mayonnaise.
fry them and dip. Yeah, there you go. Mayonnaise is Yokozuna. Don't say mayonnaise. We haven't seen Ross in a while, but he's not a big mayonnaise fan. Yeah, was it turkey butts? Like, wouldn't he eat like a whole? I mean, he would enjoy it. Yeah, yeah. Pulled pork's pretty good. The double entendre. Ironically, probably I'm more of a pork fan, but I think brisket's probably a better barbecued smoked meat than pulled pork. Though probably ribs are good too. Ribs are always good. Pulled pud, pulled pud. What do you have? Um, now I'm getting really hungry. I'm glad I brushed my teeth already.
uh, pulled pork and pork my. Oh, damn it! Now I got tongue tied. Shit. So
Porkies.
excuse my language.
Now I really want some smoked. One of the best things I had in my old smoker though before it died was a meatloaf. I
I'm
smoked a
not gonna try to
meatloaf
read that because I just got tongue tied and I just screwed myself. It was funny the first time
in
I
a
read
good
it.
way.
Now I just ruined it for myself.
You screwed yourself. Is that when your wife's not there? Oh, speaking of, um,
My baby is calling me downstairs. This is her way of saying, "Get your ass down here."
yeah, we've gone pretty gone like 2.5 hours. One of the
Yep.
best things though I ever smoked was a meatloaf. That really took the smoke. I mean, it makes sense. It's ground beef, right? It really absorbed the smoke. It was
Hello,
amazing.
Adiwu. Is this your way of telling me to come downstairs?
She's got fresh chicken gizzards and liver for you, or the cat smoked cheddar. That's always good. Anything smoked. I'm just too lazy to properly smoke it myself, so I have to pay someone else to do it. Pay a premium. But I try to approximate it on a charcoal grill. I forget who made it. It's like an American company. I think it's a vet backed company, but it's like a little metal box that perfectly fits in
It's
half the bottom of my Weber charcoal grill, and it keeps the charcoal wrangle. But somehow, because of the
time we
way
got.
the charcoals next to each other, it produces a lot of smoke, and that's even before I add wood chips to it. So then on the
Mm.
one side I got the charcoal, and then the other side I put the meat. So it's always indirect cook. So I'm cooking, even if it's like hot dogs or something cheap, burgers. I'm cooking them for a long time because I'm cooking them low and slow, so it can absorb more of the smoke. And what I
Yeah,
found is I'll actually meal prep on the grill. I'll do multiple rounds of meat because once the charcoal's going, I'm like, well, I should throw on something else too. Let's throw on some pork chops. Let's throw on some hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever I got in the freezer, and I'll just make 2 or 3 rounds of meat in the summer, and then I've got meat in the fridge for all weeks of meals. But perhaps smoked cheddar. Oh yeah, is she listening in too? She
yeah, she's at. I asked her if it's time to come downstairs
got
and
some fresh
spend some quality family time together,
with some
and she's
fresh.
like, "Yeah,
Can you get fresh chicken gizzard? Is that possible to even get fresh chicken liver and gizzard? You can get the scraps that your cats won't eat.
mm,
A nice dessert of chicken gizzards and onions, mayo. Yeah, I think Yokozuna was famous for how much, probably chicken and turkey both.
man,
Ironically,
I'm
he said
pretty
he
sure
ate some
Yoko
fatty.
was famous for eating a lot of
It's weird
ungodly
though.
things."
Maybe a turkey butt's fattier, but turkey's one of your leaner meats, so really he should have
Mm.
been going to town on like hamburgers and stuff or whatever. The fattier stuff. Of course, I don't think he was looking to bulk, right? He had a food addiction. Poor guy.
But yeah, guys, I do think that is gonna be it, though.
All right.
I only wanted to go 2 hours and shoot almost 3 hours. I mean,
Yeah,
that was a good stream.
I'm out of beverage.
I'm on beverage. Actually, do I want a monster? Nah, I'm not gonna take a monster.
Sounds pretty
I was
good.
thinking about taking a. Actually, I don't have monsters. I got gridlocks.
You don't have any
Steamy.
strawberry dreams? Is that a monster? I think that is it? That Bum likes.
The
I
pink
need to
one
try this strawberry dreams that he's always drinking. I need to try some of that. Sounds tasty.
went to what was it? What was it? Yeah, was it 76? No, that's not what it's called.
This
Trying to
beer.
think of the damn gas station name.
Um, do you have any Casey's? They make a good pizza. Breakfast pizza too. Casey's
I mean,
General Store.
oh, man, I can't think of the name.
Like a
The
BP or
only,
Shell.
what's weird, man. Like, I haven't seen an Amoco in like 20 plus years. I mean, that's like a
Around.
Chicago gas station,
Hmm.
but well, Amoco became BP.
Okay, BP bottom.
Um, but when I think gas stations, I think Amoco,
Okay, owned by.
aka BP, or I think Shell.
Yeah, Shell. I still have
Like
some.
those are like the only two, or maybe Mobile. Big ones that you see all over the place. But I can't think of the freaking local gas station that's literally a block and a half from my house
But you stop at it all the time. You just
that
never
I
pay attention to
see
what it's called.
that I passed 100 million times because I've lived in this neighborhood for like 8 years.
It's your go-to convenience store sometimes too. If you need something real quick and you don't want to go to the grocery store, maybe.
I
But you
mean, very
remember what it's
occasionally,
called
but yeah. But my
because
wife
it's
and I, we went in the other day because we wanted to get some monsters. Because
oh
when you're
yeah,
filling up the gas, they got this little signage saying, get two, or buy two,
two
get
for
one
four,
free
two for
for
whatever. Yeah,
monsters. And I'm like,
bad deal.
they got some monster Javas. And I'm like, I want some coffee monster drinks. So I'm like, let's get some. So we bought a bunch of coffee monsters. That right there is a good drink.
Is it? I don't. I'm a coffee fan. I've never had any coffee energy drinks. I don't think.
Yes, it is.
Ultra strawberry. Yeah, because you said ultra. I think that's a monster.
Dreams always has my heart and loins. That's
Ultra
funny.
strawberry drink. Do they have a pulled pork energy drink yet? This monster
That's good.
pulled pork and cream or something.
But yeah, oh shit, I've gone too much, but I am going to
Monster,
count.
monster heart and loins coming soon. Yeah.
That's funny. But
Wet.
that is gonna be it, guys.
They call it monster wet dreams.
But I am gonna cash it in, guys. Wednesday, guys. We will be back Wednesday, 7 p.m. Friday, Kirk and I are gonna try for this Friday Hasbro continuation. I don't know if we'll continue on past that Friday, but we'll see what happens.
What time?
Saturday we'll be back.
Yeah. What time?
Friday, 11 a.m.
Okay.
Eastern time.
Yeah, I think I
Saturday,
always forget.
depending on views this week, we will determine whether or not this Saturday will be the first of the ongoing Saturday only streams.
Oh, okay.
So I've been talking about for months if we're going to kick it back from 3 streams a week, 4 streams a week to 1 stream a week. I've been mentioning that with summer coming, I want to spend more time, doing family time, spending time out by the pool,
Mhm.
relaxation, etc. And spending more time with the wife, obviously. And even if we're not spending time outside, I obviously want to dedicate more time with her
Mhm.
and not cutting away from her in the middle of the evening. So uh, I will let you guys know at some point this Saturday during the stream if we're cutting it back or not. But it all depends on what we're looking at, view wise this week. So I'm hoping for a good week. We'll see what happens.
Mhm. Or you play it by ear. If good weather or bad weather, maybe you're inside and you don't want to, or you're
All
tired.
right,
You
yeah, yeah,
sick.
I'm pretty much.
Okay.
I don't know if you have anything coming up or
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say Saturday we might play this Saturday by ear. I do have a graduation to go to, but I think it's at noon.
oh,
So I think I'll be back in time, but I'll let you know.
okay, cool.
It's early enough. My niece is graduating from college, so I'm like, well, okay. But
Oh,
look,
nice.
it's early enough that I think I'll be back, but I don't know for sure because we'll go out to eat afterwards. And, depending. I think I'll be back. Maybe we push it back if you want to, but that's the only wrinkle I had.
And if you aren't back on that day, I could potentially do the garage move around day
Okay.
individually, possibly.
I think it's like at 12:30. I don't think she has a huge class. So I'm thinking if it's an hour at 1:30, we eat at 2, done by 3 or 4. I get back by 5 because it's about an hour away. I think 6 o'clock my time is 7 o'clock your time. Might be cutting it close, but I'll let you know. Let you know how it's going. That was the only thing I had. I should
Yeah,
probably do.
even if you're late in the live stream, I mean, I could postpone, like
Yeah. Okay.
push it back, or hell, if I'm on at like 7 and you come on at like 7:30 or something, I mean, no biggie.
Because I don't
Just
know.
just let me know what you need.
Really depends on how lunch/dinner goes. If it's a long
Yeah,
one or short one, you don't know how busy people are, how tired they are. If her and her parents have had a long day, they might want to go home sooner than later. Or maybe we'll start talking about junk and forget. Time flies. We'll see how it goes.
Applebee's on Saturday. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, I think they still have to figure it out. I don't know if this place has Applebee's, but yeah, definitely Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday stream unless something happens. Applebee's. I haven't been to Applebee's in forever. Or Chili's. That used to be a good one. I think our Applebee's is.
Really.
And he
Damn.
goes, we don't have the
Phillies.
TGI Fridays anymore. Ours closed. Is they still? Are they still around? Trying to think of those
I
fast.
haven't even seen TGIF in like forever.
Ours closed. So apparently nobody was going to it. Problem for me is it's like on the far. I'm like on the north side of town. It's on the far south side of town. So I'm like, well,
Like I haven't seen a TGIF since high school.
oh, okay. So I'm not the only one. Ours closed a couple years ago. Sad. Oh well.
Hmm.
Okay, okay.
All right, guys. Everybody, thank you for joining the stream, for the conversation. You guys made this one extremely fun. I really appreciate you all. I'll see you all on Wednesday. And until then, have a good night, everybody. Take care.